And we're live.
Hello and welcome to Dungeons & Drama Majors, the live stream D&D show where a bunch of us drama majors all get together and play Dungeons & Dragons in a steampunk-themed universe of our own creation where we have a ton of fun and hope you guys watching at home have some fun as well. This is our third go at this whole Zoom streaming, going over this platform, keeping everyone nice and at safe distance while also still getting to play a bunch of D&D. Before we jump into this session, anyone have any announcements before we get started? I'm going to take that as a So let's jump in where we left off last session. Here goes Braden, with a little bit of a recap from what happened last session. So we started the session off with the party. How did it end? It began with the party all heading off with Ezen Vlag to have a bit of a conversation with Ezen, as well as getting some distance away from Freya's place, from this gorgeous little cove where the party had spent the night and had spent a few nights before then, as there are some people coming after Isla, and the party decided that it was probably the better idea to keep whatever impending fight was going to happen away from Freya's little slice of heaven. And so the party headed off into the wastes, having paid Ezen Vlag for a little bit of his time so they could write up a letter that is going to be sent to a mysterious someone. I think it's been said who it is, to Ludi's mother in the High District, who is held in a bit of a difficult place to get into. So Ezen is going to be delivering this message to Ludi's mother and hopefully getting a response back. But after the party had figured out their message and given it to Ezen, and Ezen headed off, gave the party a few tips on how to get back into New Eden itself without raising any alarms, getting through the eastern wall of New Eden, just underneath where the tram tracks lead down into Black Dock. And so with this, the party had a little bit more of a discussion, discussing about Isla and her predicament and the truth about who she is and who these people are that are coming after her. And during this conversation, an auto porter carrying two Prime Tech scientists and flanked by a trio of Prime Tech robots approached the party at a relatively safe distance and started asking questions, trying to suss out whether or not this group of people was the group of people who had with them this piece of Prime Tech property that had been stolen away. And after realizing that the party wasn't going to give Isla up without a little bit of a fight, they started to back away, started to put more space between themselves and the bloodthirsty party. And as they backed away, the party lunged forward, initiating combat and initiating two of these smaller robots that are positioned back quite a ways away, back where the Prime Tech scientists had parked their auto porter. These two sort of sniper robots that sort of folded out almost in the shape of a Y, with what looks to be like an arc bus set into sort of where the chest cavity would be of this robot. Jade took a pair of shots from these things before zipping back to the party and casting greater invisibility on Isla, who is currently running around completely invisible, having the time of her life.
Yeah.
Abby and Ludi are currently having a little bit of a battle with a hunter as well as one of the Prime Tech scientists, and Rex, using his new spell Dimension Door, has jumped the entire length of this battlefield, appeared at the opposite end, and is currently dealing with these Y series, these robots that are at the far end of the battle itself, sniping in. And where we left off, this pair of robots that Rex had just engaged, who had begun to turn towards Rex, their once white, the sort of white lights in their eyes have turned blue, and their weapons have turned towards Ludi. And that is where we're going to pick up on today's episode of Dungeons and Drama Majors. So, we are picking things up at the top of initiative with Abby.
All
So,
right.
Abby, you are currently grappling this one Prime Tech scientist. The hunter is not too far away from you. The hunter has started to roll into this sort of spherical shape to speed up its movement, and is coming towards you. But you are currently holding Prime Tech scientist between you and the hunter.
All right. Yeah. How is Ludi? Is Ludi paying attention to me at all? Does he have interest in
I
the scientist?
just realized I put myself back one round of combat. The scientist not in your arms. The scientist used. We're at the point where the scientist used Misty Step, has stepped away from you. Ludi has caught up to the scientist. Ludi is currently blocking the scientist from getting any further. You are 50 feet away from the scientist. Hunter is about 10 feet away from you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave the scientist to Ludi for now, and I'm gonna turn to my big spiky boy friend.
Okay.
And so he's sort of spinning up, rolling towards Ludi, right?
Spinning up, rolling towards Ludi.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of come to the side of him so that I'm not in the spinning direction.
Okay.
Strictly. And I'm gonna start turning him to scrap metal.
Okay, give me a roll to hit.
Recklessly.
Ooh.
Or yeah, that's a dumb idea, but I'm doing it anyway. That's a 21 to hit.
21 hits. Give me damage on that.
That's 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay.
And the second one coming up here is 25 to hit.
That hits.
And 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay. So this set of swings that brings him down to there. So you bring is this the great axe or is this the great axe? So you bring the great axe down in 2 swings against the side of this creature. You can see the sparks firing off from where metal is striking metal. The quite glossy, quite smooth metal plates that have sort of begun to surround this creature as it's rolling up into a ball are now pockmarked with 2 of these huge, long, almost rectangular dents where you have struck it. But it's still looking like it's got a bit of fight in it.
Okay. Does it look like it's having about as bad a time as it should be with those hits?
Give me a investigation check with disadvantage.
Oh, that's a 16.
Woo! So looking at this hunter, judging sort of the general destruction that your strikes usually cause, you do see that the plating, although it has been dented, is not dented as it should be.
Okay.
It does appear to have resistance to whatever type of damage you are using.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. From there, we jump to Yade. So, Yade, laying on your back, having just used a healing surge to heal yourself up, you've got greater invisibility concentrating on Isla, and are the better part of, at this point, about 100 feet away from the closest enemy, which would be the hunter. What would you like to do?
How much is it half your movement to stand up?
Half your movement to stand up.
And is it any movement to lay back down?
It is. I think it's a free. I think it's 0 movement to just drop prone.
Perfect. So is half my movement, because I have 25, is that going to be 15 or 10?
I'd say it's 15.
Okay. So I take 15 movement to get up. I'm going to run 10 feet forward, and I'm just going to go blast! I'm going to shoot at the hunter, and then I'm going to dive down again and take cover.
Okay. What is the range on
120 feet.
Okay, there we go.
Chaos Bolt.
Chaos Bolt. Okay, give me a roll to hit.
Okay. Does a 14 hit?
14 does not hit. So firing this shot, what is the element? I know it didn't hit, but we have some fun sort of Jade looks with the element.
Oh shit! Of course it doesn't hit this time.
Would it have arced?
Yeah, it would have arced.
Oh.
I got psychic, so a purple bolt shoots out.
Purple bolt. You can see Abby. You see this streak of purple energy zip by, maybe about 5 feet away from you and where you and the hunter are, and it fires off, sort of arcing downwards and bursting into the ground. Probably the better part of about 50 feet away from where you're standing, making a small little crater in the ground.
You see from the ground too, another red bolt shoots up into the sky, and then I get another red streak into my hair, and I go, fuck. And that's my turn. I'm just gonna lay there.
Okay, so dropping prone, keeping yourself nice and safe from these snipers. We now jump to the hunter. So the hunter, having just been struck twice by Abby, is going to unroll. So you see it. It's been spinning towards Ludi and taking like an extra 5 feet just to sort of turn around on the spot, sort of turning more to your side. It unravels, all 8 legs sort of clacking against the ground as it lunges at you with its first 3 swings. So that is... Let's see here. And you attacked recklessly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one is... Oh, that's a 6 and a 9. So that is 16 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. So that deals... The first one, that is 12 points of slashing damage, cut down to 6, because you're raging.
All right.
Second one, that is a 17 to hit.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, that's 5 points, cut down to 2 slashing.
Haha, nerd.
And the last strike, oh, there we go. That's 11 to hit.
Oh, no.
So the first 2 strikes hit home. The third one, after sort of figuring out its the patterning of its strikes, it goes 1, 2, comes down with a third strike, and you're able to just step back out of the way as it uses that third claw to pull itself forward, and it's going to try and bite you with its last attack.
Yep.
That is a 26 to hit.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, I'll take that.
Are you like bleeding, Abby?
Huh?
Are you like profusely bleeding or anything?
I don't look too hot right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That is 14 cut down to 7 points of this one's piercing damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And that's its flurry of attacks against you.
That's rude. But okay.
Okay. With that, we jump to our sweet invisible friend, Isla.
Yeah. Do you know where I am right now?
In relation to everything else,
I just killed
the other scientist, which is currently having a bit of like a back and forth trying to run by him match with Ludi, is about 40 feet in front of you.
Okay, and in relation to...
To everything else,
Yeah.
that 40 feet away is then 50 feet from where the hunter and Abby are currently duking it out. And then from where the scientist is another about 80 feet to the auto porter.
Okay, so there's 80 feet between the scientist and the autoporter, 40 feet between me and the scientist, and 50 feet between me and the hunter?
Between the scientist and the hunter. So between you and the hunter, there's about 15, because it's at a bit of an angle, like he's back.
Okay.
And
Okay.
back and like to your back left.
And those Y guns, those are up at the autoporter, yeah?
Those are up at the outer porter, so those ones are 120 feet away from you.
Okay. How bad is Abby looking?
He looks like he'll be fine for a short period of time more.
You just saw, like, glancing over in your invisible state, you saw Abby take a trio of blows, which I believe he's already taken a trio of blows from this hunter.
Okay.
So he's covered in cuts and scrapes in places where this thing has bit him and torn out hunks of flesh.
Can I ask a question then? So I have a healing kit.
Yeah.
Is there anything, like, quick in that? Like, I don't know, maybe a little needle or something? Or, like, is there anything I can just, like, quickly, like, give him a little boost with? Or is that not a...
Nothing you can quickly give him a boost with. You could potentially, like, with a successful medicine check, give him 1 health. But that's
what?
not really... You could give him 1 health.
Like 1
with a
hit point?
successful medicine check.
Okay. Yeah, no. Alright, then I'm just gonna come and try to give him a hand with the hunter. So I'll
Okay.
run up to wherever the opposite side of the hunter is from Abby, so that he has advantage too.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take some swings.
Okay. So running up, yeah. So you can get to him with basic movement. So take a pair of swings.
Both at
Okay, and they're
advantage.
both at
right?
advantage. And so if they hit, you get your sneak attack.
Okay, one of them is natural 20.
Woo!
Okay. So
That means you, with the natural 20, you're going to maximize the sneak attack. So you take that 46, maximize it to 24, plus the d4, maximize to 28.
yeah,
So much damage, holy
Now
shit.
you re-roll all those dice. You re-roll the 46
and the
plus
D4.
d4, and you add your mod.
And you go,
It's pretty good. 19, 20, 21, 22, 25. Just give me 1 sec. Sorry, math is not my strong suit.
Did you say 23? Holy shit.
23
Big hit.
plus 28, right?
Plus 28.
51 points of piercing damage for the first swing.
Did you add your mod to it?
Sorry?
Did you add your modifier?
Yeah.
Your
So
dex.
altogether, it's 51 points of piercing damage for the first swing.
51 points. Oh my god.
plus a potential 4 damage coming up here.
Yeah, so roll the d4. Don't add your mod to this one because you don't
Well,
have the.
I'm not sure if it hit.
Oh,
Um.
remember it's at advantage.
Yeah, it's 9 plus 7, so 16.
16 just misses.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Holy shit, this thing's tough.
So that, jeez, I'm just trying to figure out the math of this. That brings it down to that. Okay. So coming up behind this thing, you see it fighting Abby. You can see it sort of shifting on all these 8 legs, getting a better position, trying its best to stay mobile, so it's harder for Abby to strike it. And as you come up behind it, you can see from sort of like the rear portion of this hunter, you can see the bits where these plates sort of like lift and shift when it goes into its ball form. And as one of these plates lifts up, you're able to get a dagger just underneath and sort of pry at the underneath components. There is a high-pitched metallic squeal from this creature as you drive the dagger in, give it a twist, and pull it out just before the plate sort of slams back into place. It looks pretty wounded from that. It's not happy with that strike, and sort of you see it like turn around for a moment, not see you, and you begin to see the hints of something moving in the center of its back.
Okay. Then you said it's like doing a little movie thing, so that Abby can't hit it. I want to stay flanking so that when it's his turn, he has advantage. I just want to
Okay.
stay flanking with him, and so I have 15 feet of movement left. So I know if the thing like moves far, I can't do that. But can I use my last the other half of my movement to just like stay on par with this thing so that Abby
Yeah,
gets okay.
pretty well. What it is doing is taking the equivalent of the dodge action.
Oh, okay.
So all attacks against it have disadvantage. So by you flanking it, you're canceling that out.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Nice.
And with that is Isla. We jump to our friend, the scientist, who is currently facing off against Ludi. He trying to get away. He is going to run past you, Ludi, provoking an attack opportunity if you so wish.
Does that take my reaction?
That does take your reaction.
Oh, I think I'm gonna let it slide because I want to save it in case I get shot.
He's a good shot. Okay, so he is going to run another 50 feet, doing his whole movement, arms going. You see him like turn around and look back at you. You can just see his lab coat billowing in the wind that he's making as he's running, and gets another 50 feet closer to the autoporter and the 2 Series Y robots there. Give me a perception check with disadvantage there, Ludi.
Okay. 7 altogether.
Okay, so you see him running. Don't see anything off.
Okay.
With that, we actually jump to Ludi. What would you like to do?
So the two things, it's the two robots with the Y-shaped things that are and the auto, what's it called, the arc bus,
The Autoporter.
The auto, sorry, I thought the Autoporter was the vehicle. What's
Yes,
okay,
the gun that they're using is an arc bus.
arc bus, yeah. And those are the two things with the arc buses are what have turned their blue flashing lights towards me.
Yes, you haven't seen them though yet. You haven't sort of turned around to see them, so you don't know if they're pointing at you.
Oh,
Only it was mostly Rex saw that because he's like there with them. He's 5 feet away.
I see. Okay. Okay, I got confused. I thought I was aware of that. I am going to. Who is the closest target to me aside from the
scientist?
Yeah.
The scientist is 50 feet away from you, and they're actually both pretty well the same distance. The scientist is 50 feet away, and the hunter is also 50 feet away behind you. And right now fighting Abby.
Right now fighting Abby? Okay. I'm going to take a running leap, or I'm going to take a run. Start off with a run towards the one that's fighting Abby, and when I get to 10 feet closer or 10 feet away from it, I'm going to leap into the air, and I'm going to do that same move I did before, where I attempt to stomp down on one of its legs, attempting to immobilize it or to.
Okay. So once again, give me just a basic roll to hit.
Yeah. That's 22.
That hits. So give me damage.
Okay. It's 8 altogether. And
right. So doing this running jump, landing on this on the leg, you feel the hit connect. You feel the leg start to buckle underneath you. 8 points, and it is going to make a saving throw to see if it can resist this. Let's see.
If it makes a difference, Kale, I wanted with my two hits that I get, I wanted one to be each foot, like both hits going on the same leg.
Cool. So we'll get the first saving throw. Okay, so it gets a 18 on its saving throw to try and stay up. So it does manage to still stay standing after the first hit, but give me the second roll to hit.
That's a nat 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's max on the die.
Max on the 6, so it's 6 plus another d6 plus your modifier.
Okay. There's a 1 on the second. So 6, 7 plus 4 is 11.
Alrighty, 11 points of damage. And it's going to make another saving throw. And that is a natural 2. So you hit it with this strike, and you feel the leg buckle underneath your weight, and it is now prone.
Amazing. Do I have advantage on it if I hit it when it's prone?
You do indeed.
With my so I was going to heal myself, but I think with this advantage, I'm going to go for another hit.
Okay.
So with a flurry of blows, I'm going to. Would it make a difference if I buckled its other legs, or all of its legs are buckled?
It's right now like flat on the ground.
Okay, gotcha. Does it have like a weak point that's obvious to me? Like, could I attempt to break off? Does it have a gun attached to it?
Nothing. The gun that's attached to it is on the underside of its carapace, so like it's pretty well pressed into the ground right now.
I see. Okay. I'm just gonna kick the shit out of it then.
Okay. Give me a pair of rolls to hit, both with advantage.
Yeah. 19 plus 7, 26.
That hits.
That's a 2 on the die plus 4 is 6.
Alright.
In flurry of blows. Also at advantage?
Yeah, also at advantage.
14, probably not, hey?
14 does not hit. So the first hit connects, and you can feel the metal underneath your kick. Although it is quite resilient, you can feel something sort of buckle slightly underneath the strike. The second hit, you bring it into another spot on the hunter's back, and you just feel it sort of like glide off of the smooth metallic carapace of this creature.
Cool. And I got 5 feet of movement left, hey?
Yes, you do.
I'm just gonna step 5 feet away from it.
Okay. Okay. With that, so Rex, 5 feet away from these creatures, you've just seen their lights go blue as they turned their weapons towards Ludi. But you notice as you see Ludi run off into the distance and start battling this hunter. You see him bring this hunter down, prone once again. You see the guns don't train onto Ludi. You see the guns train onto the person that was in front of Ludi, the scientist. And 2 gunshots ring out. The 22 and a 22.
They're killing their own so that we don't get any information.
I feel like they already locked on to me, and it was too late for them to change their target, and because he was right behind me, that's probably why.
No, they're trying to kill him so that he can't.
They never aimed at you. They were always locked on to the scientist.
Ah, whoa.
So, Rex, you hear these 2 gunshots go off. You see the scientist running, hear the gunshots, and sort of glance behind them to see where they're going to hit. You see the scientist's right shoulder pull back in an extreme arc as they begin to fall forward as a second shot pierces the center of their skull and they hit the ground.
No.
And you see these two robots that had just executed one of their own, somehow overridden, executed their own, begin to turn towards you, and you begin to feel this static hum in the air. And with that, we jump to your turn.
Had a cum, you say?
This static hum.
Fuck these things. I still feel the lack of a heartbeat coming from the one I'm next to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna not even try to get the other one in the blast. I'm gonna stick the barrel kind of deep into its system and say, "Hum on this!" and pull the trigger.
All right, so give me a roll to hit with advantage.
Okay. Okay, that's bad, but it's gonna be all right. What's that plus? This isn't a pact. So this does 15 hit these guys?
15 just hits.
Cha-ching! Okay, that's 2 of these. 2d8. That's 1, 2, and a 4, so that's 6 plus 3.
So 9 points.
Yeah, thanks for the math. And
So this shot rings out. You can hear just the shredding of metallic components as these bullets rip through this creature. It sort of wobbles on its 4 legs, but despite the now open, I guess, wounds in this robot, it still seems to be standing. It's staggering a bit
okay,
as it stands there.
2 things. First thing, it's another plus 3 damage because I have my charisma on that guy.
Boom.
Efficiency bonus. And then second thing, does it look like the bullets aren't affecting it as good as they should be?
Give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
Okay, that's 3.
3. It's hard to tell. It looks like it's cutting through the metal.
Okay, I'm gonna let another shot go out. Boom.
Okay, so you do the reload, take a shot. All right, so same thing, pressed up against him.
Yep, and it's 23 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, 5 and a 5, so that's 13, 16 damage.
All right, so the first shot, you shred sort of the middle center of this Y series robot. The second shot, sort of pressing it back into the series of holes you've made. You fire off another blast, and you watch as the creature sort of staggers backwards. And with the amount of damage you've done to sort of the stem portion of the Y, you see the top half just sort of cave in on the bottom and just fall flat on the ground as the bottom half skitters around for a bit and then crumples into the ground.
Fucking
The
yeah.
other one, however, has still turned towards you, and you can still feel this static hum in the air.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is with my movement now, I'm going to run at it and jump and wrap my body around it so that its barrels are covered by my body.
Okay, so you're just getting as close as you can to this thing. Okay, sounds good.
My turn.
With that, we jump back up to the top of initiative with Abby.
Oh man. Okay. So much is going on. Wait, so do I know Isla's there? Like, did I
You do
notice?
not. What you see is while you're fighting this thing has just done these 3 slashes to you. You can feel sort of like the wooziness of the amount of blood loss that you've experienced, but you still feel very very there with your rage. Although you're hurting, you're loving this just a little bit too much, a little bit weird. But you see as this creature is sort of moving itself around you, you're trying to get a good angle on it so you can strike it, and you see it's beginning to start to dodge away from your attacks. You watch these panels on its back sort of lift up as it's shifting its body, and you see a spray of sparks come from underneath one of them. You hear this creature's electric hiss, and you don't see anything. There was a sudden spray of sparks, almost like a really weird glitch in the creature that just like exploded into its side. But whatever it was, it really hurt it.
Okay. And also I heard gunshots, and also it's prone.
Yes,
Okay.
you do have advantage on this because it is prone. Ludi also came over and has pile-driven this thing into the ground.
Alrighty. I'm gonna just look at it and be like, man, Prime Tech engineers really aren't that good, huh? Must be a flaw in your programming. And, oh, okay, good. That's not a nat 1. That's a 19 to hit. Nope.
19 hits.
18.
18 to hit?
Yeah.
That's still
Sorry,
hit.
I messed up. Okay, thanks.
Still hits.
Re-roll that. That's a 10. And the other one is a 20 to hit.
Hits.
God. Keep carpet. 15.
50, so 25 damage in total?
Yes, sir.
Oh my god. So that brings it down to... So these 2 swings sort of coming down at the front portion of this creature, the dents are getting more and more serious, and the denting you have caused to the front portion of the hunter's carapace has now made it so it's a bit difficult for its sort of head portion to turn. So it's sort of stuck facing you and trying to turn its head to look around it, but it seems to be seems heavily damaged.
It's still prone, right?
Still prone. Yeah, until it gets up on its turn. Is there anything else you can do with your turn there, Abby? So there's your action.
Yeah. How big is it when it's prone?
When it's prone, it is still a large creature, so it's still like a 10, like it fits.
Oh, sorry. Like, how high off the ground is it? Like, is the top of its shell?
While it's prone, it's still, I'd say, the better part of about like 3.5, 4 feet high.
Okay, ugly. All right. Yeah, no, I think that's me.
Okay. With that, we jump to Jade. So Jade,
Okay.
having run up to it, drop prone.
How far away are the other bots?
The Y series, you can see them. They are from where you are, because you are 80 feet away from him, and he is. They're probably about like 175, 180 feet away.
Okay. I guess I'll just do the same maneuver. I think I'll shoot another Chaos Bolt, even though it's a disadvantage. I'm just going to go for it. So, yeah, I'll get up, and I don't think I'm going to lay down this time, though. I think I'm just going to get up and run 15 feet, seeing that the bots aren't really aimed at me.
You from where you are, you did see them mow down the scientist.
Yeah, so I'm just going to assume I'm probably safe. Plus, I'm behind everyone else.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to run forward, and I'm just going to go bolt again and see if I can hit it at disadvantage.
Okay, so attack roll to advantage.
Oh, no! It got a nat 1.
Okay, give me another roll to hit. This one not at disadvantage.
It doesn't even
Why
roll
is
that
there-
once?
I got a 15. Oh, I re-rolled that once. I re-rolled that once, though. Okay. Oh, okay. Actually, I think I hit him. I got a 20 then.
Oh my god, and that's with disadvantage you got a 20?
Yeah, the other roll was a 16. I re-rolled the 1 and I got a 12, so I got 20 because I get plus 8.
That hits.
You know what my roll to hit was? It was 15. It probably would have hit one of you guys. Holy shit.
It would have, you know who it would have hit? The invisible person standing behind the robot.
It didn't happen though. I'm a lucky boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's funny. So it's gonna deal Oh my god, 5 damage.
Okay. And what's the damage
It's
type?
cold damage, so white
Okay.
haze, the bolt comes out, and again I get another streak. My eyes get all fucked up, and I'm standing there deranged.
So while you're standing there, Isla, you've just stabbed this creature. You're seeing Abby just start wailing on it. Ludi's come and is now kicking it. You guys are like beating the crap out of this thing all in like a small semicircle. As you're standing there, this bolt of blue energy arcs just over your shoulder and slams into the creature, and you have a moment where you want to say that almost hit me, but you realize no one can see you. And is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn there, Jade?
No.
Okay. So now we go to the hunter. So the hunter is going to spend half its movement sticking the legs back in the ground to pull itself back up to standing. And it is going to... Okay. It is going to take the dodge. It's going to use a bonus action to do dodge. And it is going to use its action to dash. It is going to try and get away from this fight. So that's 25. So it moves 75 feet away, heading towards the auto porter. Everyone around it, so Abby, Isla, and Ludi, you all get attacks on it. They would be at advantage due to flanking, but they're all brought to just a flat roll because it's dodging.
Except I have double advantage, so I still get advantage, right?
Double advantage, and double disadvantage. They don't.
No, but I mean,
It doesn't like if you have like even if you have like 2 cases of advantage, 1 case of disadvantage will bring it down.
What? That sucks.
That's rude. I feel like there's
That doesn't
such
make
different cases of advantage and disadvantage, you know? Like,
Yeah,
Like,
I'd still
it's sort of
say
like
flat roll.
trying not to get hit by people it's seeing, and, you know.
I'd still say it's a flat roll.
Oh,
Does it work the other way around too, Kill? Like if you have double disadvantage and 1 advantage, it's just as
It
regular?
brings it just to a regular.
Then I'm okay with it.
so, KO. I got a
Sorry.
nat 1.
Okay, so there's a nat 1 on Ludi, or nat 1 on Abby.
20!
Okay. Okay. And Isla?
21 total.
That's-
Oh my god. So, Abby,
20 plus 7, so natural 20, but 27.
Abby, give me a strength check, flat strength.
Okay. Oh, haha, I have advantage on those right now.
Yes, you do.
That's 17.
Okay, so you swing your weapon in, and unfortunately do not hit, as it begins to sort of try and move away from you, don't hit it in a spot where you can deal some damage, but you get the blade of your axe caught underneath one of these shifting plates, and it threatens to take your axe from you, but you are able to just yank it out. Still have your axe. Give me damage, the 2 of you.
Do
And
I-
Isla, since you're flanking, you do get... Yes, because it's once per turn. Sneak attack's nuts, so you do
Yeah.
get sneak attack again.
Okay, awesome.
And Cal, just sorry, mine's the full 6 plus 4 plus d6, right?
Yes.
Ah, 14.
Okay.
Yes.
24.
24. Okay. So, with Ludi taking this strike at it, its legs buckle a little bit more, but Abby and Ludi, you see it begin to scurry away at an alarming rate. But Isla, what's your finishing move?
As I'm watching it run away, I'm gonna put one of my legs up on one of its legs and hop up on top of it, and then drive my dagger down in between the plates.
Okay. So you guys see this thing beginning to get away. You've both taken your swings at it. Ludi connected. Abby was able to get his blade back from the shifting plates. You see it get about 5 feet away before something just brings it to the ground. Almost as if Ludi has kicked it again and flattened it. It's just brought to the ground. There is an eruption of sparks from the center of its back, and then it just lies still.
I speak in both of the boys' heads and I go, woo!
Whoa.
You hear the voice of Isla. You can't see her. You don't know where she's been in this fight because neither of you saw her go invisible. You don't know where she's been, but she's somewhere near and may have had something to do with this thing's death.
Woo! Something as it's fucking everything, dude.
Thing to do. So that is the hunter's turn. Isla, what would you like to do? You've just killed the
Wait.
hunter. What would you like to do?
I would like to. The scientist is dead.
Scientist is dead.
The
The
hunter's
scientist
dead.
who fought was dead.
Rex has killed one of the guns, but he's currently wrapped around the other one. Yeah?
Currently sort of wrapped around the other one, yeah.
Then I would just like to take. The gun that he killed, is it upright?
It was, so these things, like as I've said, they sort of look like a Y when they're standing upright. The one that he killed, like the middle section of the Y has been completely shot out, so it's like folded in half and crumpled into the ground.
Okay, so anything that looked like either a gun or a camera is not pointed at us, yeah?
Yes, the only sort of still standing robot that you see is the one that is turned towards Rex, who is currently just hugging it.
Okay, then I'm gonna take my action and my bonus action and my movement to get to the autoporter.
Okay, so do the whole 90-foot sprint getting to the autoporter.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that 90 feet, you are able to get up. You're about like 5 feet away from the last of these Y series robots, and as you near it, you see Rex holding onto it, and you feel as well this sort of electrical hum in the air. And from there, we go to those are both dead. Ludi, what would you like to do?
Are either of the Y series like within 55 feet of me?
Not within 55, no. The closest ones are same distance that Isla's running, which is 90 feet away.
Okay, and those are the only two opponents that are left, right?
Only two that are left.
90 feet away. Oh. No, okay, yeah. I'm gonna use Step of the Wind, and I'm going to dash with a key point.
Okay.
I'm gonna dash with a key point. I guess I don't know which one Isla's going to.
There's only the one standing. The other one is like broken in half and sort of crumpled onto the ground. There's just the one that Rex is right now.
Right, run to Rex, and he, can I get a clear jump on it to attempt to crush it prone, or can it not go prone like the other one can?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try as long as Rex isn't in the way.
Okay. Give me a roll to hit.
26.
That hits. Okay, give me damage.
8.
8 points. It's a natural 19 on its save, so it is able to keep itself upright, but you do still have one more attack.
One other foot. 16.
That unfortunately does not hit. So trying to bring the other foot down to try and bring this thing prone, it just glances off the leg and unfortunately does not hit.
Okay. I just take a few steps back from it, and that's my turn.
Okay. So with the movement that you've used, yes, so you do still have like quite a bit of your movement after using the, or I guess not quite a bit. You have about 10 feet of movement. Would you like to, like you're staying there with it, or you're backing away from it?
Just a couple feet away, just 5 feet away.
Okay. Sounds good. And again, as you approach it, you feel this sort of electrical hum in the air.
Yeah, I'll make note, if I can quickly, has the dude, the scientist he's dead on the spot, right?
Yeah, as you run by him, you sort of give a glance down at him, and there's just this sort of red pool that's beginning to soak into the dry earth around them.
Lovely.
Okay. So, it is now the Series Y turn, and this electrical hum in the air suddenly becomes louder. And Rex, as you're holding on to this thing, you can feel the static electricity sort of beginning to grow within this creature. I need Rex, Isla, and Ludi to all give me dexterity saving throws.
Aye, Captain. Ching!
All right, Rex,
22.
22, nice. That's a success. Isla,
23.
sorry,
23?
23, success, and you have evasion, right?
I do,
So you take
so
zero,
I take nothing.
take 0 damage. And Ludi.
17.
All right. Do you have evasion at this level? Do monks get evasion at?
You do.
Oh my god. So you also take 0 damage.
Woo!
Oh my god. So Rex, you're only taking half of 16, so down to 8 points of lightning damage.
Okay, as I get shocked, I call out, Blue Dragons, save me!
And that is its turn. That's all it can do. It's just fire off this pulse. And it is now Rex's turn.
Oh! I go, and I'm gonna hop off it and just look at it, and I'm kind of twitching a little bit. I think that this thing is resistant to the damage, and it's made of metal. So I go, and I go, and like some sparks kind of in my teeth, and you think for a second I might breathe lightning. But I use acid instead. So it needs a dex
Okay.
save.
So that's a dex save?
Yeah.
That is an 8.
Okay, yeah, so it takes full damage. That's a 6. The 4, so a 10. And a 1. 11.
So 11 points of acid damage.
Yeah.
Make it flaccid. Use your acid.
So you see the
Because you
acid,
melt it. It goes from turret to nod.
you see the acid begin to burn away at a lot of the components across the front of this automaton that you have now spewed acid all over.
Yeah.
It's still standing, but you can see the bits where exposed circuitry is beginning to spark, and it is not doing well.
I don't know if I can control this because it tries to dodge my acid, but I'm trying to, I aim for the cameras of it, to try to melt those first.
Can I mount those first?
I don't know if it helps, but I try to do that.
Alrighty.
And I do have a bonus. I have a bonus action too, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I move. I'm gonna actually move. I'm gonna climb on the auto porter.
Okay. So you sort of zip around away from it and hop onto the auto porter.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump up. I'm just gonna sit on top of it with my blunder being pointed down at it. Can I also use my bonus action to just look up and down the road really quick, left and right?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Okay, 12.
Okay. Glancing up and down, you see that the convoy that you had seen before is now probably the better part of about half a mile, almost a full mile down the road towards Black Dock. Doesn't look like there's anyone coming in your direction from either spot.
Alright, I wiped the bead of sweat that was dribbling down my forehead away and end my turn.
Okay. Abby, what would you like to do?
All right. So I saw, both engineers are definitely dead, right?
One of them just collapsed mid-sprint, and the other one you saw was gunned down. You're not close enough to see immediately if there's any chance of saving them, but you could try and approach, you could try and see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sprint towards the one that didn't get shot in the face
Okay.
by its own gun. Yeah.
Okay. So that one's about 15 feet away, give or take. And so heading over there to give a check at them. Give me a perception check. Perception or investigation, one of the two.
Perception 18.
18. So looking over the body, it looks like this this scientist took a knife to the ribs. There is a gaping wound right between probably their third and fourth rib, as well as a long, jagged slice across their throat. And giving them a bit of a look, looks like they're no longer with us. They have bled out since receiving these wounds.
Okay, Brett. I'm gonna go sprint towards the auto porter then.
Okay.
I think.
So,
Yeah.
huff it towards the auto porter. From there, we jump to Jade.
I guess I'll just dash towards everybody.
Okay, so
So I just. I'm
Jay's
coming,
doing-
guys.
runs up towards everything. We then go to Isla.
Uh-huh.
So Isla, you just dodge this electrostatic sort of shockwave from this creature. Rex is just covered it in acid.
Yeah, I'd like to move right in front of it.
Okay.
Like get right up, like half an inch away from it. I'm gonna find one of the cameras if I can see what's what.
Okay, give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
$10.
So glancing about, you find something that you feel is one of the cameras. It's a bit hard to distinguish what is what, especially with the acid burns all across sort of the upper portion of the thing. But you find something that you feel is one of the cameras.
Okay, then knowing I'm invisible, I'm just gonna lean in really close and hope it has a mic somewhere, like with the camera. And I'm just gonna lean in and go, I reckon you ought to leave me alone. You built me, you know what I'm capable of, and you don't want me as an enemy. And then I'm gonna try to just shove the thing down so that any camera or barrel would be facing the sand. Like in the sand.
Okay, so are you trying to do damage to it, or just sort of
I'm just
keep
trying
it?
to, like, it's literally just a gun on a stand, right? I just want to take it and go boom.
Yes, sort of try and push the gun down.
So it's like, if this is the sand and this is the gun, it just does this.
Okay, so it is like on four legs, and as you give me an athletics check.
Is it a robot or is it a gun?
It's a full on robot. These Y series are robots.
Okay, I thought it was a gun.
Well, it has a arquebus sort of pointed out of it, like the middle portion of the.
Yeah,
Of the Y.
I understand now. I didn't realize that. No, then I'm just gonna try to do damage to it.
Okay.
If it's yeah.
Yeah!
22.
22 hits. Give me damage, and you have sneak attack.
Yeah, I do.
Yes!
This is my favorite fight ever.
This is the most sneak attacks. I think this is more sneak attacks than you've rolled through the entire campaign, all in this one fight.
We can make you OP. We can make you OP.
19 points of piercing damage.
And how would you like to finish off this last one?
I'd like to take my blade and just like bring it down through the line of cameras, and then turn it around, and with the hilt of the dagger, just knock off the gun, the barrel of the gun.
Okay. So bringing your dagger, carving through, there is this squealing sound of the metal of your dagger ripping through the more like lightweight, almost like aluminum of this creature as you bring the dagger through the two banks of cameras, and then bringing the hilt in, you smack at the gun, and the gun, with the acid damage that has already been inflicted on it, just like falls in half as the robot just begins to crumple in on itself and fall to the ground.
Awesome.
And glancing around, you're now out of combat.
Okay, and then I'm heading straight for the autoporter.
Okay, so the autoporter is like 5 feet away from you. Rex is like seated up in one of the two seats of the autoporter itself, gun pointed towards where you just were, where you just shredded this thing. You were also still invisible and will be for the better part of about, like, I'd say, like 20 seconds here.
Great. Yeah, so I just want to hit the autoporter, and I want to search for anything. Like, anything that looks like a tool, anything, any money, like, literally anything I could find in this thing, I'm stripping it.
Okay,
I'll say I drop it pretty early. If I don't have to concentrate on it, I don't, kind of thing.
okay, so once you see the last one fall, drop concentration?
Yeah.
Okay, so Isla, you rematerialize. You can officially see your arms once again as you now start going through the various bags and compartments on this autoporter. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Sitting up on the autoporter, I go, "Where is Isla?" Oh, Louis, good idea. And I follow and like look with her.
Okay, give me a investigation check of your own.
Okay.
10.
I'm gonna start sprinting after the autoporter.
Sprinting towards the autoporter as well?
towards it. Yeah.
Okay, from where you are, having been so close to the Y series, you're also like 5 feet away from it.
Oh, okay.
So it's like right there.
Yeah. I'm just watching what they're doing.
Okay, Isla, what was your roll?
10.
10. Rex?
Double that.
20.
Mhm.
Nice. So,
Good.
Isla, going through the bags and compartments on this thing, you're able to find a set of 3 different screwdrivers, each with a different bit on the screwdriver itself. You find a pair of tongs that look that are like very, very small tongs, look like it could be for adjusting small bits of electronics, and a large sort of square of burlap that is just totally oil stained. It's just covered in oil stains all across it. But besides that, you don't find really anything of use in the auto porter. Rex, going through the various compartments, you find similar things. You find bits of wiring and the equipment that you'd use for like soldering stuff all together into some of these robots. In addition, you find one of these packs, looks like it was something that was brought on by one of the scientists. You find, where is it? You find, maybe it was on here. Yeah, there it is. You find this weird, almost rectangular shaped gun that has on the back of it this weird little square compartment that sort of glows slightly white. And looking at the front of it, it doesn't have much of a barrel. Looks like there's almost just like something attached to the front of it. And it's pretty small, fits in your hand pretty easily. It's like a one-handed little gun, but it's unlike anything you've ever seen before.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Isla, look at this.
What is it? Try it. Try it.
On you? That is how we test weapons so that we know the damage dice, correct?
Well, I didn't get hit at all, so you can try it.
Okay. I go, okay, no. And then I jump up and I say, Woody, look, I got the gun.
What kind is it?
Let's try. And I'm going to like aim out and I see Abby and Jade both running in and I kind of aim it at both of them and then I shoot.
Whoa, hold up. It's gonna hit the
in the
pavement.
middle of them.
Give me a roll to hit.
Okay. Almost an out one. Dex and proficiency?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 13.
13? Okay, so you are able to successfully avoid shooting either of them. There's no mistaken shooting of your friends. But as you aim this gun and pull the trigger, there is a slight hum that's sort of, it sounds almost like the acceleration of something within the gun itself. Because as a small blue particle, or I guess not particles, almost like a small blue bullet fires out of this thing and disappears after about 60 feet, just sort of into the air.
Okay.
What does that do?
It's just a little blue thing.
Yeah,
I
but
kinda
what's the little
like
blue
it.
thing?
So you guys see Rex point something towards you. You hear this and see this blue bullet just whiz between the two of you.
Yo, Rex, what the hell? What was that?
I look out at Jade, kind of like prop myself up and perfectly imitate his voice and go, Bolt!
It's not the same.
Yeah.
You look at me and you see that my hair's all discolored and my eyes look all fucked too. It's purple, red, and white.
Okay.
Do you think it's ammo or is it like ammo-less?
That's a very good question. I'm thinking that maybe it's like possible that there's like some sort of energy cell or like some thing that maybe needs charging or replacement after a time, but I don't see like magazine. Do I see magazine? Do I see magazine?
Investigation check.
Okay. 13.
Okay, so
15.
15?
Yep.
Better. So as you begin to look over this thing, trying to figure out how it works, you find that this small, sort of square-shaped, slightly glowing contraption on the back of the gun, as you sort of pull at various things, trying to find what disconnects, you find that by squeezing the two sides of this, you can pull it out almost like a battery, and it still glows slightly in your hand, and then you see on the weapon itself there's like the little slot where this thing sticks in. You're unsure of how many shots this particular battery gives you, how many it has left, or where you might get more. It seems like something that was an experimental weapon used by Prime Tech that just never got a chance to be fired.
It's experimental. I suspect a theorist. A theorist. And then I hand it out to like people like in a show and tell to like be passed around.
I bet you it like sedates someone. Because how did they think they were just gonna take, like, even if they did just find me, did they think I was just gonna say, oh sure, yeah, I'll come back, no problem?
Well, how are we ever to know?
As I get it handed to me, I kind of just hold it for a second, and then I'm gonna shoot it into my arm.
Okay.
Just gonna go.
Give me a roll to hit simply for misfire.
It'd be Dex, right?
Yes.
And is it a proficiency thing because it's a small arm, or?
Yes, I'd say you have proficiency with it.
Okay. In that case, 13.
13. Okay. And the natural roll wasn't anywhere lower than a 2, was it? Wasn't a 2 or a 1. Okay. So the weapon fires off, and you feel just a sudden, just zap of pain fire up your arm. You take 8 points of lightning damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
10.
Okay, that just saves. So you feel the electricity course through your veins, you feel your body start to seize up, and then you're able to resist it.
Okay. I think it's a stun gun. That's what I think it is.
Oh no shit!
Holy fuck, that hurts too.
Well, thanks for figuring it out. Oh my god! I'm gonna run to this to the scientist.
Okay, which one would you like to run to? The halfling one, or the halfling male, or the gnomish female?
The halfling guy got shot through the skull, yeah?
The halfling, you haven't seen it, and you didn't see it in quite the same gruesome detail that Rex did, but you do see them lying down face first in a, not so much a pool as just like this reddened earth where all their blood has been soaked into the ground around them.
But is it coming from their head?
It is.
Okay, no, then I'm gonna go to the woman.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can bring her back with my medical kit.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a really good job of trying to like bandage up around her throat, and then yeah, whatever. I have.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
11.
Okay, so you begin to start like putting bandages around her neck, trying to find like ways of slightly stitching up the hole in her side. But as you're like bandaging up, you've bandaged up her neck, and as you're filling in her side, you feel something heavy. And as you look, you see that the weight of her head has like pulled the throat back, and the stitching has all come out. She is and has been dead while you've been working on her.
Oh man. Then I take my bandages back. I like wring them out on the ground, and then fold them back up and put them back in the medical kit. You guys, can we?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to look like, I think if we can look really hard on these bodies, if someone can grab the other guy, let's see if we can find like a key card or like a phone, an address book, or like just anything, you guys.
I'll head over to the scientists and I'll start searching them.
Okay, so head over to the male one, or the one that Isla's currently at.
No, the male halfling.
Okay.
I'll move over there with him and just like stand by as he looks.
Okay. So Ludi, give me a investigation check with advantage.
19.
Okay. So looking over the where did I have them? There they are. Looking over the the male halfling, you do notice as you're going through the white lab coat that he was wearing, as you roll him over to get a better look sort of through pockets and the like, has now just been dyed this sort of like rust red color from the blood that has soaked into it. Pretty gruesome sight with this shot, pretty well straight through the forehead. It was a very good shot on part of the robots. But going through pockets, you were able to find, where is it? You're able to pull out 20 gold, 20 gilded doves.
Wow.
Sort of from his pockets, sort of looking around and feeling for a coin purse. You're able to find one that is pretty heavy. You also find a small, flat, circular object. Where is mine? Yeah, you find this small circular object that has like this small little dome set in the center of it. The whole thing is this brassy color, with the middle of it being a slightly darker coloration of the brass. It's not immediately obvious what this thing is. In addition, he has his name tag, naming him as Callum. See, just the name tag Callum on his chest, as well as a small sort of rectangular device that is pretty well like death gripped in rigor mortis right now, that as you sort of pry the fingers away and take the device out, it looks to be a small rectangle with these 3 prongs coming out of it. The middle prong looks to be more set up like a traditional antenna, and the other 2 are sort of pointed slightly towards the antenna, almost to like focus a signal. And on a small screen on this object, you see a little red message reading "confirmed."
Oh, okay. Are there any other markings on the device?
Glancing over it, sort of giving it a bit of a spin, there seems to be a power button on the right-hand side. Besides that, any of the markings, they are written in a language that you do not understand.
Oh, okay. Do I know what the language is?
Give me a history check.
18.
Okay. So looking through the script and trying to figure out sort of what language this is, you figure that judging by the characters and the placement of them, it seems to be a mixture of sort of like a gnomish dialect on halfling text.
Gnomish dialect, halfling text. Okay. Isla, I got something.
Oh, good. Can somebody please come over here and help me look at her? I'm not very good at it.
I'll stand up from where I am and go, You're good here, honey? Okay, I'll go help.
I'll come with Rex as I'm done, so.
Okay. Yeah. Isla, give me an investigation check with advantage.
Oh, I'm wondering if someone else could do it.
I'll take a look, yeah.
Thank
Here
you.
we go.
Yeah.
In we go. Woo! And I start looking.
Okay, Rex, give me an investigation check with advantage.
19.
Okay. So once again, feeling through the pockets, this one's lab coat is mostly still pretty white. The whole sort of throat area of it has just been dyed this rust red color, and there's a pretty large splotch of red on the sort of rib portion on the right-hand side. However, going through, you are able to find a coin purse with 16 gilded doves in it.
I toss it up to Isla.
Okay. In addition, you also find the name tag. You see Ava written onto the name tag. And you also find on this one a similar device to what Ludi is currently holding, except for this one seems to be powered off.
No power? Okay. I'll take that.
Just isn't on. Doesn't seem like it's like you sort of give the side button a bit of a click and it starts to light up, but doesn't seem like it was on.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
Give me a flat int check.
Int. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
1.
You have seen these in rare occasions. Sometimes you've been on the had some close encounters of almost being on the receiving end of one of these. These are etheric scanners, so things used to tell if someone has the phase gene within their veins, if they have aetheris running through their body, so to tell if someone's an aberrant. Or
I
not.
turn it on, and then I'm gonna point it at Isla, and then like hit the button if there's a button.
What do you do?
Okay, there is a trio of buttons sort of circling underneath the
Just one in the middle.
screen. Hit the one in the
shooting
middle. So hitting the one in the middle, there's a slight moment where the screen sort of flashes white, and then you see slowly from the right side of or the left side of the screen to the right, this sort of long white line that goes from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen begins to slowly pan across the screen. And after about 15 seconds, it's completed a pan. A second white line pans up from the bottom over the course of about 2 seconds, a very quick little scan up. And then a message comes up that is completely garbled. It looks to be confirmed, but it's like twisted, and it looks like the item is glitching out. Looks like it has given you a positive result, but it is getting readings it's never gotten before.
You're an interesting one.
What? Wow.
It should be well, you don't know how to do magic, but it says confirmed, but also it's not totally sure.
What?
Like kind of like when Ludi asks me where I want to go eating for dinner time, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm not an aberrant though. I don't do magic.
You don't know. Okay. I look over to Jade and I say, you know what one of these things are?
Do I?
Give me a flat int check, I'd say with advantage.
18.
You recognize it as an etheric scanner.
Yeah, of course I do.
She's coming up as confirmed.
Really?
Maybe it's broken. Point it at Abby.
Do it for Abby.
Okay. Pointing at Abby, again, you watch the white line. You see it sort of like wait for a moment as it tries to deal with this almost error message that it's gotten. And after a moment, the white line again passes over the screen. In the course of time, second one passes upwards, and you see denied across the screen.
Hang on. I found one of those too. Maybe it just glitched out when you pointed at Isla. I'm gonna. How do you work it, Rex?
Yeah, the power on, and then hit the middle button.
It's on already.
Okay, then you're hitting the left button. Hit the middle.
So pressing the middle button, you see the white line cut across the screen, second white line rise up across the screen. Okay. So as the white line goes across the screen, you see a message begin to get built sort of out of these pixels. And then you feel the contraption in your hand begin to heat up. And it begins to heat up more and heat up more.
Pretty hot.
And it eventually explodes. And you take 7 points of piercing damage as this thing explodes in your hand, covering you in sort of like little bits of metal shrapnel.
Oh my god.
Ludi!
You broke it.
I just pressed the middle button.
Are you sure? No, I saw you do it.
Ow.
You are an interesting one, Isla.
Thank you.
You're probably made of Aetheris.
What do you mean? Like the magic dust? In me?
You're not innately magic. It's not that you're a magical person. Well, not trying to be rude. I don't mean that in like a... Because what you did in that fight, I'm assuming, was quite magical. I saw bits of things flying out of nowhere. Anyways, what I'm getting at is I don't think that you have a magical gene in you, but maybe you're made from magical properties, and it's confusing the device.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think I have any genes in me, so I don't know what I'm made of.
Hey y'all. I just thought of something. Like, what if I was like a person? Like, she was born and everything and raised, and then like Promtech like kidnapped her at some point and then like wiped her memories and like inserted some stuff into her to make her do some cool stuff, and like that's it. You know, like what if she wasn't built? What if she's just manipulated? That's why she bleeds. That's why she's like everything's all right, like passes the sniff test, except her memory's all fucked up.
Well, that's an idea.
You mean like you think I had like a family?
Yeah, I mean I don't know, but I'm just wondering, like, what if we got an engineer and like we found some way to open you up and we just realized that it was like all correct down there?
Well, I'm pretty anatomically correct, anatomically correct. What's that word?
Atominally.
Thank you. Correct. But mostly everywhere. I just don't know how far in that goes. You mean you think I'm real? I mean, I'm real, but you think I'm like maybe I have like real blood.
Isla, if we do go to an engineer to figure out what's going on with you,
Yeah.
would you want to know if that was the case? That you just can't remember anything? Or do you think that would be a difficult thing to process?
If I have memories, I want them.
Then I think we should continue doing what we're going to do, and we might find out. But don't get your hopes up as well. You could be entirely created. What he's saying isn't factual. He's saying it could be true. So don't get excited thinking that you have a real family out there and that you're made of real blood, because you very well could just be created. And I don't want you to get your hopes up just to get crushed down. Okay? So just know that you could be completely created. Okay? But we'll find out.
Isla?
Yeah.
Do you remember your first face? Before you ever changed it? Like the one, you know,
I don't.
made with?
Kale.
Mhm.
Do I have any memories from in the workshop? Like none, right?
None like faces you could pull
I have
from.
like weird fragments of stuff,
You,
right?
you have weird fragments of memories.
Okay, so then I'm assuming when I got to the shop, like to the store, they would have had me suited for the big guy, right?
Mhm.
So whatever that face is, that's what I shift to.
If you with the face changing, you can have a number of sort of faces saved equal to your charisma modifier. So I believe right now you have Isla saved. You have
But I don't need to save the ones that I can. Like I don't need to save like say Jade or Abby because I see them.
No.
Okay.
No. But I think there were at least 3 that you've pulled from past having them.
Didn't you save the one, guys?
You saved the boys. The kid.
Yeah.
What am I blanking on his name?
Bernard?
Not Bernard. In the
Which Bernard?
let me go back. Yeah, which Bernard? In the tavern with where you guys got the drinks.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
So I don't have it.
I'd say you don't have it.
But one of the 3 I had was Polly, yeah?
Yes.
Then I'll just put that one on. I'll say
Okay.
that. I'll say that.
I don't know if I have the
Oh.
stuff here for that one.
I
I
have
think
it.
you might have.
I have it. Green eyes, So my eyes just like flash over like this deep green color, and then my hair pulls up into my head, and from the roots it turns blonde, and so it's like a short, straight blonde bob. My features get like sharp, like my cheeks get sunken, and my ears get longer. This is about the first one I can remember. I know I had one before it for the big guy, but this is Polly, but I can't remember the one that I had for the big guy, so I don't know.
Oh. I thought, like, you know, maybe if there was a face you had that didn't come from someone else, you know, like an original face, like before you transformed at all. But that's one you got from somebody?
Yeah. I don't... You mean like a neutral?
Well, I don't know. I guess maybe it would be neutral. But, you know, maybe, I just mean like your first face, like before you changed it at all. Like the face you were either made with or made from, if that theory is correct.
Okay, then I just take a second, and I'm gonna just kind of like look into myself and see if I can, I don't know, see if I can drop the, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Give me a flat int check.
Int? Oh, that's not bad! It's -2. 12.
12. Okay, so pulling back, sort of going through your mind, trying to find whatever memory it is that brings back this sort of almost like factory settings, Isla, you're able to find it.
Really? Can I change to it?
Yeah.
Ah! I do!
So, Isla, you see Isla's hair begin to sort of pull into her head. You see the eyes flick from being this green to just these white irises with a black pupil. You see the color drain from her face as slowly you can see what looked once like sort of like soft, malleable skin turns into these almost like slightly silver plates across her face. You see she's completely bald now, her eyes, these sort of like white, neutral look. All the skin color has pulled from her face. And you can see the places on her face where it looks like these plates have sort of been set, where things are able to then like move and change, and whether it's an illusion, whether it's actual physical manifestation, that her looks are able to come from.
Strange.
I see them all looking at me. What does it look like?
Very neutral.
What? Am I still pretty?
I disguise self to show her what she looks like.
Okay.
Looking at him, I touch the parts of my face that I'm interested in. Looking at
And
him.
touching them, it still feels, although they appear metallic from outside, they still seem to like move like skin. They still react like skin.
I don't understand. It doesn't feel like it looks. Come here. Someone touch me.
Yeah, as you touch Isla's face, what looks initially like it should feel like these cold metal plates still has the slightest bit of warmth to it and is malleable, oddly malleable.
Feels normal.
You guys look...
It's
What?
right.
Do I look scary? Is it
You
scary?
don't look scary, you just don't.
You don't look like anything. It's like a no face.
But you do stick out like a sore thumb.
Kale, is there anyone within seeing distance of us right now since we're
Give me
next
a
to a road?
perception check.
18.
Okay. You glancing around to see if there's anyone within sight. You don't see anyone like nearby that's watching you. You do see a small, looks to be like a trading caravan coming in from the New Eden direction, heading towards you guys. And glancing out sort of into the wastes, you can see your guys' vehicles, the better part of about 250 feet away from you, and then sort of speckled in between the distance between you and your vehicles, the destroyed body of a hunter, the 2 dead scientists, and then back over with the rover, the destroyed Y series.
Yeah. Hey guys, like this is really cool. I love you. Look super cool right now. A plus 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie, guys. There's like we're gonna have company here in a second. I feel like bodies by the side of the road is a bad look. I think what we should do is we should pile all the carcasses into the autoporter, drive it off like a couple miles in the other direction, and like Jay, you blew up that bike in that fight, right? Like, what if we try that again?
I don't know if I have the firepower available right now.
All right. Well, we should figure out how to get rid of all this stuff. Like,
Yeah, okay, let's get the bodies into the autoporter. How far away are they, Abby?
maybe a couple miles out. So we got a few minutes, but only a few.
Let's do it.
Okay. Someone should, whoever drives the autoporter off, we should all just meet over there with the rest of the bikes to pick them up.
I'm gonna run to the body of the woman. What's the name on the ID tag I took off? The gnomish woman.
The gnomish woman, it's Ava. So EVA.
EVA. Okay, I'm gonna go to Ava's body. Say I'll take the autoporter away. Follow me, and I'm gonna hold on to her body. I'm gonna dimension door with her body.
Wait.
What?
I want her jacket. Her lab coat. Just in case.
I rip it off, toss it into the air, and before it hits the ground, I'll disappear with her body into the autoporter.
Okay.
Then I'm
So
gonna
in the autoporter, there are the 2 sort of main seats that you can operate it from. This one looks to be one that has been. It wasn't one that was taken necessarily from the that general spot where you guys saw the autoporters being sold, because those ones were designated to like just drive from one spot to another completely autonomously without any control from the drivers. This one looks like one that has been rigged to be driven. So there is what looks to be this weirdly shaped console between the 2 seats that is used for driving it, but there's just the 2 seats. So if you wanted to, you could try and stuff both corpses into the one seat or corpse on your lap.
So there's no like interior.
There's no real interior for it. There's not a lot of storage space on these things. It's just mainly the 2 seats and the driving console, and then the large wheel that encompasses all of it.
So how big is the porter?
The porter stands the better part of about like 9-10 feet tall. Its width is maybe about 3 or 4 feet wide. So it's not very wide, but quite tall.
Okay, I'm gonna leave like her body on top, and then I'm just gonna hop down. I'm not gonna get in the driver's seat and just start putting the Y series on top as well. Just stack them.
Okay, give me a athletics check for the Y series.
Okay. Ooh yeah, 17.
Okay, so with a bit of difficulty, you are able to start sort of popping this Y series into the autoporter. You can see it sort of slink down a bit in the dirt of the road as you're putting this thing in. It's pretty heavy.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and what do you guys do?
Does it look like how does it look like the hunter got here? Did it walk?
It looks like give me a survival check. Give me a survival check.
Is there a ditch we could roll it off the road into?
It's currently the better part of like 90 feet off the road, and the ditches on the road are not by any means concealing. Like, since there's not a whole lot going on either side of the road, it's pretty well just like a barren little ditch.
11 for survival.
Okay. Looking up and down the road, and mostly more focusing on the direction that these Prime Tech folks came from New Eden, you can barely make out amidst the other tracks in the road the autoporter's track, as well as what looks like two thin tracks that were following beside it, and then this large circular track that just is sort of like bored almost a small ditch in the road, where it looks like this thing had rolled after the auto porter.
You know, guys, we might need to like try and like tow the hunter with the rover or something.
I would love to take it. I actually really
Okay.
want to like dig around inside of it later.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can
Uh-huh.
lash. Let's see if we can lash it up. You want to bring the rover over here?
Yeah, I'll get. I gotta get
Okay.
the rover and bring it back.
Drive over and get the rover?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys start trying to lash this thing onto the rover?
Yeah, I'll,
The rover?
Yeah, I guess like it's got like a pretty solid carapace, right?
It's pretty solid, and like giving it like a bit of a pickup, this thing feels like it could easily weigh a ton, if not two. Like it is solid.
All right, maybe we should tow it into the distance a bit, but I think it might be easier to move if we flip it over, like protect some of that underbelly component, you know?
Okay,
But yeah, let's try and rope this up.
I help him rope it.
Give me whoever is mostly doing the roping. Give me a just flat dex check with advantage.
oh, I guess I think I'm just helping. So maybe Isla.
Isla?
Abby, do you want to do that, or do you want me to do it?
I mean, this seems like I mean, I could help you with the knots, but I don't know. I think there's some fine detail work that you might be better at here.
Okay, flat dex with advantage.
That's 2 natural 20s.
Okay, so you were able to loop some of this rope in between the paneling of the hunter itself. You get a pretty solid sort of series of about 3 of these curved ropes around the larger components of it. It looks like it'll hold up really well.
Woo! Thanks, boys.
Damn, that was unreal, Isla.
How's Rex? I'm gonna take a look over and see how Rex's progress is coming. Has he got the Y series and the bodies in the vehicle yet?
He's got the one body and the one Y series, but judging by that, there's not enough room to fit anything else in this if it wants to be driven.
Do you think we can fit one of the bodies in this in our rover, Isla, Abby?
The bodies are in the auto porter, aren't they?
There's
No.
one that's not.
One body and one Y series won't fit in there.
I don't know.
We can just throw him in the front seat with us for now.
I'm gonna, from the auto porter, start waving to the group to get someone to come over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over.
You
Yeah.
can see at this point the caravan that Abby had seen is probably the better part of about like maybe half a minute away from passing where you guys are, so they're getting close.
Okay.
Maybe we.
I'll set up my bike kind of like a little bit ahead so that if they do come, they'll have to kind of like talk to me first before, like, just so that it's kind of like if they're coming, if the group's here and they're gonna go like this, I want to be right here so that they have to interact with me before they just say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Okay.
I hop off the auto porter, waiting for Abby to come over.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion. Or first, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self when he's about 25 feet away from me, and I'm gonna look like an overseer guard.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion and maintain just a little desert-colored bubble over top of that other Y series.
Okay.
Neither are concentration. And Disguise Self lasts an hour. So every minute I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion, which is somatic and material. So I'm gonna take off my necklace and hold in my palms, and every minute I'm going to do an arcane mark, which causes that deserty colored patch to stay that color, or sort of plainsy, wastelandy colored patch.
Okay.
And then after that, is it only the scientist, the male halfling that is left on the road still, or on the?
Yeah, it's just the male halfling is left.
Okay, I'm gonna drive the rover over to him and try to get them into the vehicle.
I believe is Isla in the driver's seat of the rover right now, or who's?
Sure, I was, but I can hop out and let him.
No, I'll just hop in the passenger seat and say, let's head over there.
Okay, then I head over. But while we were waiting during that, I'm just gonna throw on the lab coat that I got from Rex. Just like put it on, and then I'm gonna turn into typical Isla, Silent Isla.
Okay. You do see on this lab coat, like the whole neck area, probably a good like 3 inches in on the whole neck area is this like blood, this like rust red blood stain, as well as on like the right side of your ribs. There's one of these stains.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll pull out Callum's name tag and clip it onto my shirt.
Okay.
I would like to put up my hood so that it covers my colorfully streaked hair and put my goggles on to cover my colory streaked eyes.
Okay. So as you begin to drive towards the other body and begin to pop it into the rover, this caravan comes by. It looks to be a very run-down rover. So one of the vehicles that you guys have, these larger, more like off-road style vehicles, that is pulling behind it a small carriage that seems to be loaded with all manner of scrap and various other items that seem to be getting ported off to Black Dock for sale or for whatever reason. Driving the rover, there are 2 individuals. One is heavily cloaked, looks maybe like human male, could be elven male, sort of one of the more medium-sized male races, as well as a female, could be dwarf, could be halfling, sitting to her left. As they pull up, they sort of pull this thing and sort of veer it a bit to the side of the road, seeing that there's something going on. They sort of give a couple glances at the auto porter filled with stuff, and at Jade and at Rex as they drive by, and then just continue down the road.
Okay, I drop my disguise and illusion when they're gone.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the auto porter and drive it to where the bikes are.
Okay, so drive it back to where the bikes are. It takes you a little while. Give me a flat dex check. This is for the driving check for this thing.
12.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit of sort of balancing work to keep up this vehicle. But after the first about like 60 feet, you seem to get the hang of it and drive it pretty well straight towards the rest of the vehicles.
Okay.
Is that where we are?
You guys picking up this body are like pretty well between where the auto porter once was and where the rest of your vehicles are.
Isla,
Yeah.
do we maybe just, like, bury them all here so that we're not lugging them around?
Bury them? Listen,
Or we could dump them in the lake, but the White Lady might not like that.
no, she definitely wouldn't like that. I'm just thinking about how long it's gonna take to dig like 4 or 6 foot holes.
But do you think we can just leave them on the, like, out in the open?
I think what we do, here's my plan. I think we throw whatever we can squeeze into the auto porter, however we have to stack it, and then we take a piece of rope and we tie it around the pedal on the auto porter and we just let it shoot as far as it'll go.
I thought of that. I was thinking, not that exactly, but I thought auto porter, maybe it drives itself. We just load them in and we press go and it heads out. You know what? You know what they say?
What?
Great minds think alike.
And fools seldom differ.
Yeah,
um,
that's true.
but before we do that, just hold on 1 second. Do you have that pencil you were using earlier?
Yeah.
I take the pencil and take a piece of paper out of my book, and I just write on it in big letters. I write "Leave me alone," and then I break a piece of metal however I have to do it, I'll break a piece of metal off the hunter or whatever.
Okay.
And then I want to head over to the auto porter. Like, I'll drive over to where Rex is with the auto porter.
Okay. We're heading over there with as we're heading in Rex's direction. Isla.
Uh-huh.
Are you okay?
Never better.
Can I ride back with you to New Eden if that's where we end up going?
Yeah, of course. I'd like that. Ludi,
Yeah.
thank you for not hating me.
Thanks for being my best friend.
I give him a little kiss on the cheek.
Oh no!
Okay, so you are or a princess, a prince. I mean,
You're able to break off a portion of one of the hunter's legs to sort of act as this bit of metal, and getting the piece of paper, sort of sticking it onto this piece of metal. You drive the rover back to where Rex and the rest of the bikes are.
And then I put the paper on the auto porter when I get there, onto the side of the auto porter, and I take the thing and I just drive it in so that it sticks on, hopefully. Sticks it in.
Okay. Where would you like to stick it on the auto porter? 'Cause it's
Whatever
pretty-
looks most front and center, wherever I think they're going to notice it most.
Okay. So, sort of sticking it near the driver's console, stick this thing in. Give me a strength check.
Okay. You're not going to believe me, but I swear to God, that's another natural 20. But it is minus. It is -1.
So 19.
19.
Stabbing this thing in, you get like a solid 2 inches of this hunter's leg into the metal console of the center of this auto porter, and just stick the note.
I wanted to put the note on first and then stick the metal through it so that it's like really in
Yeah.
there.
So you have the note skewered there.
Awesome. I am on fire today. I feel like I could do anything right now. This is just so awesome.
See what happens when you reveal secrets?
God, I wish I had more to tell you.
Do you have any more to tell?
I really don't.
Jay,
What?
do you think there's any way we could remove the arc buses? Or, what are they called? Arc bus? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Is there any? Do you think there's any way we could remove the arc buses from that Y series and you guys could keep them as weapons?
I have no idea. I'm not an engineer. I just know engineers.
I
Isla
definitely
found those
broke one.
screwdrivers in the auto porter. Maybe we could take them apart.
We could try.
I definitely destroyed one of them. I don't know about the other one. I think Rex took that down, so we could ask him.
Are we worried that they're going to be coming sending another team right after us, or do you think we should take the time to try?
I don't know. I think we have weapons.
Okay.
Hey, honestly, I'm kind of curious. I'm just gonna tug at it, and then if nothing's doing, then I'm satisfied.
I'm going to watch over your shoulder, Abby.
Okay, and you're just gonna try and tug out, because in the two Y series, the one that has been loaded onto the auto porter, and the other one that I believe is right now in the rover with you guys, is sort of in the back compartment of the rover. The one that Rex is loaded into the auto porter has the weapon still somewhat intact. However, the other one, the weapon has just been broken in half.
Okay, I'm gonna do the not broken one then.
Okay,
I want to help him!
give me an athletics check. I'd say what's your strength mod, Rex?
0.
Then I'd say you can't give him advantage. There's nothing you can do to help.
Good.
So give me an athletics check.
Just plain old
Plain.
regular. All right. Oh, that's a 22.
Okay. So you yank this thing off. You are able to break it from whatever mounting it's been built in on. But in the process of pulling it off, a large chunk of the weapon itself comes off onto the robot. And you're holding in your hands the sort of shaft portion of the gun. It looks unusable, however.
Oh, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. Let's head out. I think we're still a little close to the road.
I really wish I could have helped you, but you know.
Hey, Rex, come work out with me sometime. Well, we can fix
Not
that.
going to happen. My body is so physically exhausted from doing all the charming and gunfighting and swooning that I do over Ludi. Also, the drug use? Mm-mm.
I would assume that's the main one.
Yeah.
Because I've done a fair share of fighting and sneaking, and I show off my little halfling gun. Remember when I beat that orc?
And look, there's no one fightier than me.
I'm gonna go to my motorbike now.
he just leaves. It's like, fuck you guys. That's funny.
Rex,
Was it something that I said? What did I do?
It's okay. Don't worry.
Man.
What time is it, Kale?
At this point, it's about, say, like 2:30
In the afternoon.
in the afternoon.
And can I roughly estimate how many hours till sunset or till it's dark out? Or like right now, just this time of year, what time does it get like past twilight? It's dark.
Give me a survival check.
Oh, 15 on the die, plus 3, 18.
Okay. Generally, at this point in the year, it gets dark at about like 7:30, just shy of like 8 o'clock.
Okay. And also, lastly, how many hours away are we from New Eden?
Give me another survival check.
6.
You ballpark somewhere between like 3 and 5.
Okay. Hey guys, I'll maybe send a message to Ezen to ask, but I wonder if we should stop short of the city and wait till the cover of night to approach the secret entrance. Just with our vehicles and stuff, we might draw a lot of attention to it.
Oh my goodness.
And I think it's maybe about I don't know, we're like 4-ish hours away from the city, about 5-ish hours away from nightfall, so it'll be like an hour wait, roughly.
We can't take the rover into the city, can we?
No, but I was thinking maybe depending on how wide the door is, we could get some of our vehicles into the secret passageway and leave them there. You know?
With a note
'Cause
that says, please don't take us?
Yeah, well, we could let Ezen know, and then maybe he could let the whole network know that uses that secret entrance, or we could also leave a note. Or both. I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't compromise the security of that entranceway at all, especially if we start making use of it a lot.
Abby or Jade or Rex, I guess, are any of you good at mechanics? Right? Just a little. If you have a very base knowledge of mechanics, anybody? Vehicles. Anyone know a little bit about vehicles?
Not ones that are on the ground like this. That's not my forte.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk
I feel
more
I was
about that
really
later.
good at driving the Harpy when I first started driving it. But do I have any mechanics training? Or
No mechanics training for you.
Fucked up.
Just luck.
Okay.
Okay.
Nah, got it, Nyla.
So
I know a little bit here and there because of people that I know, but I am not trained in it. I
okay.
just know people who are.
Okay, that's fine. So just using your knowledge that you have of life, maybe. Do you think maybe I could just take the engine out of the rover and put it in my bag, and then that way no one can take it? When we come back out of the city, I can get my rover back.
Well, there is usually a smaller power source, something that will allow you to start the vehicle, but you know that there are scrappers out here, Isla. Everybody's looking for tires. Although these are in a state of disrepair, we do not want them. No one will.
There won't be scrappers in the secret entrance, right?
No,
But
but
it's not-
my rover
Yeah.
cannot fit in the entrance, I reckon.
I don't see why we don't just go to the garages and place them all there.
Are there garages like outside of the city? How much
Oh, yeah.
money do you think we'd have to pay to keep the rover there?
Well, it was inexpensive for us to put all of our bikes in the one in Black Dock. So I'm assuming it's not very expensive for the one here in New Eden.
I mean, that was like overnight, though, right? We'd be
Yeah.
storing it for potentially a long time, and then we'd have to walk to the tram line to get to the secret entrance, and I don't know how long that is.
Well, I'm putting my Harpy in storage because I don't want it to get stolen.
Me as well with mine.
Well, why don't we put them in storage and then maybe we can try to like just steal them back when we leave, so we don't have to pay.
I think we pay in advance.
Pay in advance.
Yeah.
That is what we did before.
Oh no, no! We're charming enough. We can get out of that. Don't worry, I got it.
Well, we can try. Alright, should we hit the road?
So, did any of you decide that we're just going to leave the auto porter here and just with the bodies and the robots in it?
Ludi and I had an idea.
What's it?
What if we take a piece of rope and tie it onto the pedal or like the go or whatever it is, and then we just like shoot it off into the distance?
Oh. I'm going to look up at the console and the controls. There is no auto go.
Give me a intelligence check.
Hey! 19, my friend.
Okay. Giving the controls a bit of a look over, it seems like they have been adjusted slightly for it being a manual version of the auto porter. However, as you're going through the controls, you do find sort of hidden away and tucked underneath the console the auto drive function.
There's always something underneath. Stack everything on top, but not that final robot. It won't drive, it'll be too much weight. I think it will go if I hit this button. Oh shit, it's going. Okay. Alright, put everything on.
Okay, so you guys have got the two bodies,
Yeah.
the both Y series,
I think just one.
just one Y series, and you guys currently have the Hunter attached to the rover,
To the rover.
right? Not the okay. So you have the two bodies and the one Y series loaded onto this thing as you hit the go button. Is there anything else you want to put on it?
Hey, you guys think we could just fold up that other Y series, like snap it in half and then fill it up in those gaps, you know?
Why don't we just put it in the seat?
The seat is filled with the other Y series and the two corpses.
I think that despite how much we Jenga this thing, the weight will still bring it down into the dirt and it won't be able to drive. See how low it's sinking?
Let's just leave it for the scrappers. Then maybe they
Think
won't touch my rover.
They're gonna love this.
Yep.
We can't bring the hunter into one of the garages though.
Well, I don't know if anybody could undo those knots that has it secured to the rover.
Yeah, but it would just really betray the fact that we killed the hunter.
Maybe we can bury it, like just not far from the garage, and we can.
You could put your blanket over top of the hunter and hope they don't look underneath.
My silk one, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think scrappers would have a few.
What?
I
So-
said, go ahead.
Sorry, Ludi, I interrupted you. That was rude of me.
I just think it's. I think that if I was working at a garage and I had a boring couple of hours, I would snoop through all the vehicles. Not. I wouldn't. I'm not the kind of person. I'm not a snooper. But if I was the kind of person who enjoyed working at a garage, I think I would also be the kind of person who enjoyed snooping. I don't know why. Maybe that's prejudice. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But I still think it.
Okay, so we bury the hunter. While we're waiting for nightfall, we bury the hunter, and then I'm gonna draw a little treasure map so we know how to get back to it. And then we bring the Bax and the rover to a garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so do you guys hit the auto drive button on the?
Well, yeah, it's been going this whole conversation. Just I think really slowly because there's a lot of stuff on it.
You do see it slowly begin to pick up speed as it drives away from you. You see after it's gone about 100 feet, 120 feet, you see the auto drive begin to really kick in as it tries to find the road that it's supposed to be following. You see it start to swerve side to side quite rapidly, and it begins to speed off faster as it continues to pick up pace. By the time it's about 500 feet from you guys, you see it just topple, roll probably about 40 feet, and come to a halt.
I say we leave it. Let's just go.
I hop on my bike and I go, yeah.
No, I mean,
I mean-
we got time to kill, right? Like, let's drive it. You know, maybe a couple miles so it's out of sight of the road, out of sight of the tram, maybe, and then leave it and then be on our merry way. Right?
Yeah, whoever wants to drive it, I'll drive along beside you in the rover, and then I can bring it back to the Bax.
Oh, I want to drive it.
Okay.
Didn't it just topple?
It is on its side.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll lift it again. Like, just come on.
You'll let it again, Abby. Because you're so strong.
Okay, big man.
oh.
I mean, hey, listen. I'm not claiming that I could just like do it by myself. Although, like, maybe I could. I'm not saying that I can't.
I think you should try.
I'll
I'll cheer you.
there's 6 of us. Let's do it. Let's try it.
Okay. So while you head off to go and lift this thing up, that is where we're going to take our break for tonight. So we'll see you guys in 15. Take this opportunity to go to the bathroom, get a snack, wash your hands, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our page both here on Twitch.tv or on YouTube. Same name, Dungeons and Drama Majors, all one word. We got the other 26 episodes of our fantastic little D&D series here. So if you want to check those out.
Dungeons and Drama Majors, all one word on Twitch, not all one word on YouTube.
There it is. Boom. Alrighty. Well, we will see you guys in 15.
Bye.
Feel it.
And we're back.
Hello and welcome back to Dungeons and Drama Majors. We're gonna pick things up right where we left off. So, we have Abby going to try and pick up this auto porter. Abby, as you approach it, do you drive your bike out to it? Like it's a good 250 feet out.
Yeah, I'll drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
so driving up to it, you get up to the crash site of this thing. You see both of the bodies have been fired out of the vehicle and are each sort of laying about 10 and 15 feet away from it. Because of the way that it toppled, the circular wheel of the auto porter has been bent in certain places. It doesn't look like it will drive anymore.
All right.
What was the plan?
Yeah, I signal over to everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I sort of drive back, meet him halfway, and I'm like, hey, yeah, so your brilliant plan broke the auto porter. Good job, y'all. Great job.
Okay. So, does it really matter? I mean, they know that we took him out anyways, or if they don't know right now, they're going to find out sooner rather than later. So, why don't we just leave it on the road?
I think that's fine.
I'm pretty sure that those guns had cameras, and I actually think someone was controlling it who wasn't here. I think someone was remotely controlling. I think they were watching and shooting. And because it's curious, that the gun eventually turned on the scientist and then shot him down, and I don't know exactly why, but I think it has something to do with them realizing we were going to win, and they didn't want us to have him. They didn't want us to be able to pick his brain or something, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Its lights turned blue right before it did it, making me think that it was red. It was red right before, right?
It was white right before.
Making me think that the white is the automated, follow instructions, then blue is an override.
Yeah.
We should look to see if maybe there is if we can find some sort of device within the machines. Maybe there's some sort of information compartment that they would have to perhaps retrieve it to get the logs.
Like a black box. I don't know what a black box is in this mind.
I just mean maybe there's a storage device where they might have put the pictures of our faces. Yeah, if we can, and then if we just leave this here, maybe they come retrieve that data and then they have our faces. If they already have it, that's too bad, but if they don't have it yet, maybe we can try to prevent it.
Okay.
I could just shoot a bunch of gas bolts into it. I don't have anything else, so
I think that's the point.
We could just completely destroy them as well. Just obliterate them.
do you have the firepower to do that?
We could crush them underneath the auto porter if Abby can lift it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad.
Or we could throw them in the lake and they would short circuit.
Do you mean like the ocean? Like where the lady, the white lady is? That's the ocean, isn't it?
Is it an ocean? I thought it was a... Oh, I thought it... Wait, I'm saying lake. Isn't it a river that leads to the ocean? Or is it a cove?
So it's like an inlet from the ocean.
I think we should leave the white
okay.
lady alone.
You mean lake?
Do we really want to drive like 2 hours back?
I don't want to go back.
And then, yeah, we might draw... If they have some way of figuring out where this stuff is, then we'd be bringing hell down on Freya, and that's not good.
Exactly.
No, I don't buy Freya's place. Like, doesn't... Kel, does the water go past Freya's place, or is it like just a small little pool?
It's a pretty small cove. I mean, if people were to come there, the only spot that is visibly inhabited is Freya's place.
Okay, yeah, no, we don't want to attract them to Freya.
I am perfectly comfortable leaving them here. I honestly think they saw my face to begin with. And
Yeah, but we're not worried about, like, you know, the rest of us. They haven't yet, I don't think. Look, I don't think we're going to be fighting again today, and if we can sleep have some rest time soon, I can just go and just shoot a bunch of chaos bolts inside of the porter. No one's gonna see it. I'll just keep blasting until the shit explodes.
Do it, Jade. Do it. It's a good idea.
Sure. I'll go up to the auto porter, I'll get on top of it, I guess, if it's on the side that way.
Mm-hmm.
Is the door, if I open the door, will it face New Eden?
There's no door for the auto porter. It's all
Gotcha.
open.
Wait. I go take my note and the metal off the auto porter, and then I hold on to it. I move back like 15 feet and hold on to it.
And then I look up and around to make sure that there's no one, like, close by.
Okay. Glancing about, no one immediately close.
I'm gonna stick my hand inside of the auto porter's open door and just start. I'm gonna cast. First of all, I'm gonna cast Chaos Bolt at level 2. At one of the vehicle or the little bots.
So the auto porter itself, it doesn't have any doors. It's just like 2 little seats that are on either side of this large central wheel, and then the control console is just sort of like tucked between the 2 seats. So right now, with it on its side, there's pretty well just like a ring on the ground with these 2 seats that are now sort of like dug into the ground, and then the bits of the Y series are just more like scattered within this circle that is the toppled wheel.
Gotcha. Then I'll just launch one in the area within there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do one.
All right. So give me damage type for this one.
Damage type?
Yeah. We'll say it's pretty easy. You're hitting a barn door.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to roll damage fully or?
Yeah. Give me damage fully.
It's at level 2, so the damage type is gonna be thunder this time, and the damage is 20 for the first one.
20 thunder.
So I shoot into there. I get another bright white streak. I'll shoot another one at level 2. Okay, this one actually. Okay, this one is it's poison.
Okay.
And it's gonna deal 12, 15, 16. It's gonna deal 21, and it's gonna arc again within it.
Okay.
So it arcs. And the arc is gonna do acid damage. 8.
Ooh, that's good.
17 acid damage. So then I get in that one, I get a green and yellow streak. My hair's starting to just become a big hodgepodge of different streaks of color. That was my second one. I will do one at 3rd level.
Okay.
This one is gonna be thunder damage, and it's gonna be 10, another 25 damage.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna do. So I just blast into there a bunch.
You guys watch Jade over the course of pretty well like the next 30 seconds, just firing these bolts of energy into the this circular ring that is the toppled auto porter. You see flashes of light coming from this. You see bits of machinery sort of firing out, and after the sort of smoke and dust clears, it's just like a burnt and destroyed hole in the ground. There is very little that could be salvaged from this.
Okay, I left a little bit of, if something were to happen, I can go invisible, but that's pretty much it.
I walk up to the auto porter, wherever I can find purchase left in it, there I'll put my note and stick it in.
Okay, so sticking it in sort of like one of the edges of the wheel.
Yeah. I just want to say, Jantos in the chat said Jade's hair looks like a pride flag.
It does.
Yeah. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Do we know where the garages are outside of New Eden?
You guys have been there before. That's where you guys got your the first set of bikes. So you guys do know
Oh, right.
where the garage is.
They're on the south side of the city, right?
North side. North side of the city is the water. All right. So you guys head off towards the garages.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
we disposing of the hunter before we go to the garage? Or
Yes.
Oh yes,
Is that-
yes. Like, I'd say a mile away before we get there. I want to find some sort of like landmark, like if there's like a weird hill or like a really big boulder, or just like one tree alone in a field,
Dead guy.
a dead guy. Not too
Keep 'em
decomposed, so we'll still be there in a week.
Okay. So, dragging this behind you as you guys head out in the direction of New Eden, you guys get a couple of odd looks from the people driving in the opposite direction as you guys are making I'd say about like 5.5, 6 foot wide rut in the road as you're dragging this hunter behind you. Glancing behind you, you're seeing bits of the hunter are beginning to get pulled off over the course of dragging this thing on the road.
Oh, I thought we had him strapped on. We're towing him.
There's no possible way to strap this thing on, Rover.
Okay.
So you're towing him, and after about a mile or so, you guys give me a perception check there, Isla.
Oh. 20. Not natural.
Okay. So at this point, you guys are probably
It's a mile outside of New Eden, not a
Yes.
mile away from yours.
a mile outside of New Eden.
Away
Okay.
from the garage.
Okay. So the hunter behind you has been shredded to shit.
Oh, no.
The entire back carapace has been ripped off. Now it's starting to damage some of the more fragile sort of underbelly
No.
component. It's still if someone looked at it, they wouldn't recognize it as a hunter carapace anymore. It has lost a lot of what would make it a hunter. Legs have been sheared off from the force of this dragging. But getting it about a mile out of New Eden, you do find an outcropping of rock on the sort of southern side of the road, so to your guys' left, that looks like a recognizable landmark.
Okay. I kind of squint at it a couple times and go, "Hey boys, what do you think? Is it fine now? Like no one would know what it is, right? Maybe I
Yeah,
can keep it with the rover.
Oh,
No?
Do you wanna
Should I
look?
just bury it? Should we bury
I
it?
think leave it. I think it'd be a lot to carry around with us.
See, the thing that I didn't account for is I don't have a shovel, so we're gonna be here for a while.
I mean, we might be able to just rip one of those plates off.
Oh. Yeah, see? Smart. That's why we keep you around. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Yeah, you.
That's the reason why you keep me around?
It's not the only reason, but it helps.
All right. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ludi.
So, maybe if there is less metal and probably no legs on it, then maybe it will fit in the back of vehicle. And if it's unrecognizable, no need to dig.
Well, that's
You
what
want
I
to try
was.
shoving it in?
That's what I was saying. But also, my back is in the back of the rover.
All right.
I mean, then we take it out, and then we just have, like, Ludi. We got an extra driver, right?
Yeah. No, it's actually. When I say I actually meant Ludi's bike. My bike I threw into a barn wall. This one's Ludi's.
Well, there you go. You take bike out, Ludi drives, put the thing in.
Okay. Can someone help me?
Yep, I help you.
We take the bike out.
Okay, give me a athletics check. I'd say without advantage,
Okay.
because neither of you
It
have
take a really long
strength
time to do it instead of try to do it quickly and precariously.
What if we do it like we start to do it and then we go, oh my god, can somebody else come help us too?
How about everybody helps?
Abby!
You guys see Jade sitting on his motorbike, looking at you and sweating?
Okay, not you. Abby, Ludi, you guys are strong. Someone please. Oh
yeah,
my god.
I'm helping. It's my bike.
Okay, I'd say give me a roll, not with advantage, but add 3 to it.
Ludi?
Well, no, I'd say you.
Oh crap.
Okay.
Add 3 to it?
Add 3,
Add 3 and then minus my strength mod?
and then minus your 1.
Okay. That's still 16.
Okay.
You guys, I'm
So-
on fire tonight.
Oh, I am.
It's
This
still
is
a
crazy.
pretty heavy bike. It takes the 3 of you some pretty solid time and jimmying to get this thing out, but you are able to get it out without causing any damage to the bike.
Right there. Very good. And then let's try to put the I'm gonna like start to move the hunter in.
I'm helping.
Okay. Give me another athletics check, and if Ludi's helping, add 3 to it.
I'm gonna help him this time.
Okay. So, Abby, give me an athletics check with advantage.
That's a 10.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Oh my god.
Picking this thing up, and suddenly, as you're just about to sort of get it up to the spot where it can be latched in, Abby gets the worst shoulder cramp
Oh,
of his life.
fuck. Oh,
And the weight of this thing shifts. You see a few more of the smaller bits of it get sheared off
Oh no.
in the sort of like as it crunches a bit into the ground before it's able to get picked back up. You guys get it into the back of the rover and lash it down, but it certainly looks worse for wear.
So then I'm gonna go into my bag of holding and I'm gonna take out that purple silk blanket that I stole from the bottle. And I'm going to like throw it over and then tuck it into the I imagine the rope is like around the thing like this. So I'm gonna like tuck it into the bottoms of the rope so that it's like totally covering it.
Okay, so you start tucking this thing in. Now you have this big, weirdly shaped pink parcel.
Great.
Well, I think that's.
Yeah, that looks pretty good to me.
Should we head out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna shoot Isla a look, and then wait until everyone leaves, or goes back to their vehicles. And as I hop on mine and kind of start getting the engine going, Isla,
Mhm.
I don't want to get behind everyone, but can I talk to you privately later?
I turn off the engine. Sorry, lady, I couldn't hear you. What?
I don't want to get behind everyone right now, but can I talk to you privately later?
Yeah, of course. No, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't be too private. I was gonna say if we stay close enough, I could talk in your head, but you'd have to shout back at me. So that's probably not okay.
Yeah.
Later. We'll do it later. Like in the
Yeah.
middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping, we can have some like friend time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, and you guys head off in the direction of the New Eden garages.
Yeah.
Okay. So over the course of this drive, it's now reaching about hour 3 of this drive as you pull up to the garages themselves. And what would you like to do?
Is Shoulder Boy working?
Give me a perception
Yeah.
check.
I can't do it. I don't know how you did that.
Was he at this one? This wasn't
Yeah, this is New Eden. This is
Yeah,
where you guys met Miguel.
really?
Investigation? No, perception?
Perception.
12.
Glancing around, you do not see Miguel.
Yeah, because he probably got fired.
I'm gonna head up to the counter, and then I'm gonna stop myself partway and look back at Isla and mouth, maybe you should do it.
Okay.
The free thing.
What?
The free thing.
Oh yeah, I'm on it. Don't worry.
You have to pay later, not in advance.
Wait, hold on. Cover me.
Yeah, okay, I'll walk up behind her.
No, cover
Wondering
me.
what she's cover.
Cover me. Stand in front of me for a second, Ludi.
Yeah.
I just wanna. I take a out of my bag of holding. I take out a what's it called? Yeah, compact. And I just want to peer around and see if I can see whoever's at the desk.
Give me a perception check.
18.
Okay. Peering through it, you can see the person at the desk. They are a dwarvish man, looks quite burly, large beard that is just filled with grease stains.
Okay, I scan.
Okay. Office individual, you get a dwarvish female. You get long, about like waist length, black hair. You get super duper thick black eyebrows and very dark brown eyes.
Okay.
And
I just let myself shift into that.
Okay.
As
And,
I look by me, I whisper, "Looking good."
and then I stand up behind Ludi and shake out my very long black hair. And then I'm just gonna walk up to the front.
Okay. So is it now being about 5 p.m.? Sun is slowly beginning to set. Light is slightly dimming as you come into the garage and see the gentleman working the front seems to be wiping off and cleaning some of the various tools and instruments used in maintaining a lot of the vehicles here, and watches you approach. Hey, what can I do for you?
Hi, I was wondering, do you guys like board vehicles and stuff here?
I'm sorry.
Like, can we store vehicles and such here? Do you have like a
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. We store vehicles.
You have a lot of room because we have a couple with us.
Let me see. And he comes out from behind the counter. Show me your vehicles.
Sure. So I reach down, I link my arm in his, and I walk him over. This Rover here, that's mine. My little pride and joy. And then if you look over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes. Although one of them is a halfling size, so it's a little smaller than the others.
You see him as he inspects these various vehicles. He produces a small clipboard, and as he goes to each, you see him kneel down just near the exhaust and sort of start flipping through pages and seems to be cross-referencing something near the exhaust of these vehicles. And
Hey,
goes
handsome, can I ask what you're doing there?
just checking which one of these were purchased here. We have a free housing for
Oh,
vehicles that
no
were
way.
purchased here.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's so kind of you.
So he goes through, and after checking all of them, so you got the 3 that were purchased here. I can do those right free for you. The Rover itself is going to be a bit more on the expensive side. Depends on how long you're going to be staying for. And I believe it's 2 other bikes, or is it just the one?
Just one other bike.
Just one.
2 bikes.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, because it's
Just
just Ludi's.
Rover, 3 bikes.
And Ludi's.
We got
Yeah,
Hartley's bike, Abby's bike, and the Rover and the spare. That's technically 9.
Okay. So those will have to be charged, but it shouldn't be too much for just the 2 vehicles.
And what's your day rate?
Well, we have a sort of size rating. Depends on how much space you're taking up. The Rover itself will, depending on the amount of time you're staying, will range from about 3 to 4 gold a day. The bike itself will be about 2.
Okay. Rex, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say I didn't come up to the place looking like Rex. I came up to the place looking like the tiefling drug lord that I was when I bought the bike.
Okay.
And then I speak up looking like that tiefling. Hey, Hume! Oh, sorry, Ludi. Why don't you consider selling that thing for a pretty penny to this fine dwarf man?
How much would you? How much do you think it's worth? I asked the dwarf that's selling.
Okay. He sort of squints at it and begins to do a bit of a check through, producing a couple of small screwdrivers and what looks to be a hammer, and seems to be testing the the integrity of some of the more important components of this bike. And as he's doing this, you sort of hear a couple of and after seeming to coming to a consensus in his head, he gives it a few nods and steps a few paces back from the bike. Well, it's seen better days, for sure. Still, though, we do have some parts on it we could probably salvage and use for some of the newer models or repurpose.
Great working order. I've just been driving it today.
Well, I'm sure it works, but I doubt it will work for much longer. Best I can offer you is about 100 gold.
I'd like to do an insight check just to see if that sounds like a fair price to me.
Okay, give me, for figuring out if it's a fair price, give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Do I need to re-roll the die?
No.
Okay. Intelligence. Oh, yes. 13.
13 seems like a pretty fair price.
What about 110 gold?
Give me a persuasion check.
High roller.
I'm so sorry.
It's a very looty move, though.
12.
Sorry?
12.
Okay. You see him, he goes back to the bike and gives it a bit of inspection and slapping the seat a couple times. 100's the final offer.
105.
100 is the final offer.
Sold!
Well, I'll get these, so I take them to the bike store then. It's just the rover there.
Yeah, you got anything to siphon gas with?
Yes, we do. We have some stuff inside. If you'll just sort of gives you all a bit of a weird glance.
I'd just like to siphon the fuel from this bike you're buying off of me into my.
The part of the price was the purified water in it. Bike itself, I'd sell to you for maybe about 94, 95.
Just take it.
And he sort of glances about the garage and gives a bit of a wave to two of the workers who are leaning up against one of these large metallic support beams and having a bit of a conversation. And they quickly hustle over and begin wheeling the bike into the garage. And you see them as they're wheeling this thing, they both start to like look at each other and sort of chuckle at just how rough of shape this this patchwork bike is in. It is better days.
But you know, I also own a Harpy.
It's over and
I'm absolutely thrilled that I got 100 gold for it. That blew my mind. I was expecting like maybe 10 gold.
oh my god.
I just couldn't give up a chance to practice my bartering skills, which are not good. So, but they will get better.
Well, the dwarf leads you inside, and you see, as you begin to leave, you see a couple other people from the garages begin to start the work of moving your vehicles into one of the sort of holding areas of the garage itself. And coming back behind the counter, the dwarf sort of looks around at some of the stuff on the wall behind him and pulls down this coiled, probably about like 3 foot long tube and pops it down on the counter. So, one siphoning tube, multiple.
Oh, I don't think we actually want the tube.
Tube if the fuel was included in the 100 gold offer.
All right.
Oh, well, just hold on one moment, sir. How much is that tube?
Tube itself is 10 gold.
I've got 9.
It's 10.
I'll pull a 1 gold coin out and go, you got 10.
And he
Thanks, pal.
slides slides it across. Any other business you have here today besides the oh geez, I can't think. Near the end of my shift.
The story.
The storing of the vehicles.
No, darling, that's about all, I think.
All right, and you see him sort of while he's talking to you underneath the counter, seems to be counting something, and just sort of gives a couple glances every so often, and pulls up a coin purse and pops it onto the counter. There's 100 gold for the bike,
Great.
and well, your number, if you wish to write it down or memorize it, just for just makes things a bit easier for when you come back, is G7.
G7?
Yep.
And all of our vehicles are going to be under that?
Yeah, all your vehicles will be stored under the same number. Won't necessarily be in the same garage space, but G7 will be their login number.
Great.
And what are your hours of operation?
Well, we usually have someone here 24/7, just as people are always coming in and out of New Eden. It's one of the busier spots.
Love it.
Fantastic. Now, see, darling, we don't know when exactly we'll be back for him, so I'm assuming we can just pay when we pick
You
up.
can pay when you
Great.
pick them up. Yeah,
Thank
we'll keep track of the days, keep track of the rates for you.
Good. Well, that sounds all good to me.
All right. Well, you folks have a good time in New Eden, and we'll see you when you come pick up your
Thank you.
bikes and Rover.
How's Miguel doing?
Oh my
I'm sorry, Miguel.
The boy at the shoulders, you know? He used to work here like a couple days ago. We bought our bikes from him.
Yeah, I don't think I've had the pleasure to work with Miguel. He must be on the morning crew. I'm more of sort of the late afternoon, early evening group.
Oh, you tell. Great, thanks. Bye.
Gives you a wave, and
Is Rex making that face at me, Jackson?
Absolutely.
I just he was like a cute little boy, okay? And then I walk right up to you and I put my hand on your chest and I say, nothing like you.
You can take a hit like a man. I'll leave the garage now, and I'm gonna start walking towards the door, the secret passageway.
Same. Or I'm gonna hang back.
I will also hang back.
I guess I'll hang back too. Just kidding. I go with Jackson.
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Jackson,
Heading out of the
out
garage,
there.
heading out of the garages on the north side of the city, you guys begin to head down the eastern wall of New Eden, sort of keeping an eye out for the tram tracks above, hoping to come across this secret entrance that you have heard about.
Sorry, Cal. I'd like to adjust my pace to fall about 20 feet behind the rest of the party.
Okay.
And I drop my disguise back into my Black Dragonborn self.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to drop pace to stay on par with Ludi. And as I'm like walking backwards or like just slowing down, I'm gonna make it obvious like to him, and then I'll speak in Ludi's head and go, is this what you want?
I'm gonna come up right next to Isla and whispering, yeah, this is great. You remember the night that we were looking at the couple of stars on the roof of Rex's place? And I asked you who I'd see if you showed me the face that you see when you look at me.
Uh-huh.
Well, you said, I can't remember exactly how you put it, but you made it seem like I maybe wouldn't want to see that face right now. But when you showed me just earlier today, when you showed all of us, I didn't recognize that person. I mean, it was a black female dragonborn. It
Well,
wasn't.
Ludi, there's only so much I can do. I mean, I'm built to look pretty female.
Oh,
Not that I am. I don't know that I am anything, but I'm, made to seem like it. There's only so much I can do.
so it was just your sort of physique blended with Rex's then.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry if I got your hopes up for something different. I just worried at the time that, well, I thought you might be hurt. Because Rexus wasn't you.
yeah.
But
I mean,
it doesn't necessarily mean like anything bad. It's just, that I was afraid it would hurt you a little bit.
it did it first, but then, I thought about it, and that girl, she really hurt Rex. And so I can kind of justify in my head how she'd have like a lot of influence over him. And I don't really I don't know. I suppose maybe he still has a lot of feelings for her. But I think it's probably just a lot of resentment rather than sort of unfulfilled romantic feelings. So that's kind of how I rationalized it. I mean, I'd be really mad if it was, not what I thought. But I think I understand. It's really cool that you like see into people's souls like that.
Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about it that way, but it's interesting. There's a lot you can... In some ways, there's a lot you can learn about someone, and in some ways, there's nothing you can learn about someone other than how to manipulate them. Which is probably why people don't like me. I reckon.
Well, I think everyone that knows you really likes you.
Well, you guys do. It's been really nice.
And we're sort of the only people that really know you, right? I guess Silence likes you.
Yeah. Well, just like when I was, in the store.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked there for a long time, right? And
Yeah.
The customers loved me, but they didn't really know. They didn't see it all. And Polly hated me. And then the big guy, I mean, he got what he wanted, I guess. But I don't think he, liked me.
Isla?
Mhm.
There's something that I can't tell you. And it's not because of you. It's because it'd be dangerous for me and for my mom and maybe for all of us if I told anyone.
I wrap my arms around him really quick and then I don't want to know. If it's dangerous to you, then I don't want to know, and the boys wouldn't want to know either.
I mean, Rex knows.
Oh.
But I just wanted to tell you so that, if you find out, before I get a chance to tell you. But just know that I really wanted to.
Okay.
And I wrap my arms back around you. Should we catch up with the boys?
Okay. Hey, Ludi.
Yeah?
I kicked some serious butt in that fight. Jade made me invisible. I was just like slaying things left, right, and center. It was so cool.
I know. I wish I could have seen it.
I feel
When
like
you that Y series or the Hunter, whichever one it was just like this invisible like crater that formed on it. It was wild. Isla, you killed it.
I wasn't even trying to kill things really, but I guess I just didn't know my own strength today.
Rex, I don't know if my pubes also turn colors.
Well, it's a decent enough question. It's science, Gabe. You could learn a little thing from a book. And learn a little thing by checking. You should inspect daily.
I don't see the point. Oh, look who joins us.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Does anybody know how much longer this walk is going to take?
No idea. Could
Where
be a
is
long time, so strap in your boots.
Like, how far is the tram from the entrance that we went to?
From where you guys are, you guys have begun to be able to see what looks to be like the tram rails leading from the top of the wall down towards Black Dock. But it's still probably like the better part of about like half an hour, 45 minutes away.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Louie. Hey, Ludi.
Yeah.
If we just started like going right now, like, who do you think would get there faster?
As I say me, I start dashing.
Oh shit! I'm after him.
Okay. Give me Constitution saves, both of you.
Oh my god.
Awkward 20.
10.
Okay, so after about like the first minute of running, Abby starts to lose his breath and slow down a bit as Ludi continues on.
As they're running, I'm just gonna lean over to Rex, and just quietly go, does that bother you?
Look, who does what?
I nod towards the boys.
I pipe up. Ludi constantly complimenting and flirting with big ol' Abby.
Oh, is he? I didn't even know that he was flirting with Abby.
Oh, well, never mind. Maybe he's not.
Oh, he is.
God.
Wow.
I move away from Jade and Isla, and I walk on my own.
Okay.
I look at Isla like this.
I thought he knew. I thought he was annoyed. Whoops.
He might be. He might be.
Oh, you think he's hiding it? I want to look at Rex. Do I think he was hiding it? Trying to play cool when we asked. Can I roll an insight check?
Give me an insight check.
16.
Are you trying to cover up what you're feeling there, Rexy?
Honestly, didn't pick up on that whatsoever.
Okay.
When I look over my shoulder, how far away is Abby?
Glancing behind you, Abby's probably about like 50 feet, slowly increasing to 60 feet.
Abby, or Ben, are you stop and running, or are you trying to keep going?
Ooh, I think he's gonna keep running, and like sort of as you turn around and make eye contact with him, his like eyes go, yeah, and he's gonna try to rage and sprint towards you.
Okay, give me another Constitution save there, Abby.
Okay, that's a 19.
Okay, and looking at you, you see the red and passion in his eyes flare up as Abby just begins to what was space increasing between the two of you now begins to be space shrinking between the two of you. You guys run, and you guys behind just see them slowly start to disappear in the distance as they're pretty well disappearing about like 100 feet every 3 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if it mattered with that con save, but I only have 16 health. I'm pretty wounded.
You're wounded, but you're able to keep your own running.
Okay.
Okay, and do you guys try and run the whole way there?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Okay, each of you give me 3 con saves.
Okay. Do I tell you what they are as I go?
Tell me what the combination of the 3 of them. Like, tell me once you've rolled all 3. Tell me what the 3 were.
Oh, okay. With the modifier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Abby, what were your 3?
12, 20, 20.
8, 17, and 15.
Okay. So after the better part of like a 15, nearing 20-minute run, Abby, you get there about a minute before Ludi does.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
Take it, boy. Oh, you thought you were so strong with that little thing there? It's gonna...
Hey, I took a thing today, okay?
Hey, listen, look at me, buddy. He's just soaked in blood.
Actually, and he can see just like the faint line of the straps of the bindings, like the wrapping that I have underneath and around my whole body, like on my legs too and stuff. But I just a little bit, and I show him a big gash along my ribs.
Oh, Moody, man, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's bad. You need help with that. You just feel good.
You know, I think, I magically wake up fine every morning, so. I don't know how, it just knits itself back together in my sleep or something.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that sometimes, too.
I know, it's really weird, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
People that got scars for years, but I'm just fine when I wake up.
Yeah, me too.
Glancing back towards your compatriots. Your compatriots are pretty small in the distance and it'll probably be like another 20 minutes before they catch up to you guys.
I imagine it probably grows silent for a little while.
Okay. And is there anything that the 3 of you would like to discuss while you're walking towards these 2 who you just see start to disappear into the distance towards the tram lines?
I spy with my robot eye something.
Oh, and I was gonna do that! We're on the same wavelength tonight. We've had many. Okay, sorry, go on. I was gonna play that with Abby. Sorry, carry
on. Something that is
Grumpy?
black.
Shade from Jade.
And then I'm gonna speak in Jade's head. Should I not have said anything? I just thought he might want to vent while they were gone.
I just shrug.
Okay.
I look at him, and I feel a little. I look at you and I kind of say, I feel a little bit bad. I don't want to ruin Rex's day or anything.
Okay. Something that is rainbow.
I don't see anything rainbow.
It's
What
you.
is it?
It's your hair.
I kind of pick up a strand and then I look at it. My eyes just go.
You are.
I need to sleep.
Colorful. Hey, does Jade has a mustache, right?
Yeah.
Does his mustache get colored?
No.
Okay.
It's just his hair.
Okay.
His eyebrows stay the same. His mustache stays the same. It's just his hair.
Okay.
Maybe there will be a spell one day that makes his mustache fly off or something. Who knows?
It starts wiggling.
Jay doesn't really like. It's not that he's grumpy or anything. He just doesn't have much to say or anything like that to you. When you make small talk, it tends to just kind of fizzle out.
Okay.
After a
Any-
while, I'll stop talking and just sing doo 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 doo. I'll just make another song.
Jay doesn't. If you're doing it in his head, or are you doing it in his head? No. Okay, then never mind.
Okay. So 20 minutes slowly pass by as the group reconvenes. Underneath the tram lines, you can see the large support beams of the tram itself, sort of coming off of the eastern wall of New Eden and beginning to descend down the cliffs on the eastern side of the city, down towards the water, and you can see them sort of skirt over the water and head in the direction of Black Dock. And so you guys are now currently underneath these tram lines. You can see every so often one of these sort of carriage-shaped trams sort of comes across the rails and sort of begins its almost like roller coaster ride down towards Black Dock.
Do the tracks eventually touch down on the ground, Kale, or is it an elevated track the whole way?
It's all elevated. So from where you guys are standing, the tracks themselves are probably about like 60, 70 feet above you. And they seem to stay about that height off the ground the entire way to Black Dock.
You know, I say to Abby, Shaw's got some pretty fucked up systems, but that's a beautiful way of traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, you ever been on it?
Oh, yeah. Well, a little bit. I like riding trains.
Yeah. You know what would be cool?
What?
Like, if one day, instead of just getting to Black Dock, you could get to, like, Post or something. Just,
Yeah.
like, everywhere inside. Like, and you could go, like, super fast whizzing through the countryside.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go?
Oh, man. I gotta go home, actually. I could go anywhere. I know that wasn't the answer you were looking for, but
No, it's where I would go too. An island flying in the sky? It sounds incredible.
yeah, it's pretty great.
Something out of a dream.
Honestly, the longer that I'm here for, the more that I wonder whether or not it's real.
Interesting. I think, yeah, as you grow more like separated from your past, the more you question what was real and what you've just fabricated in your memory.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can go there someday, Abby. I think, you know, every you know, relationship is reconcilable.
Yeah.
You just find the right way to do it. And we can all help you.
Yeah, I hope you're right. Like, it would be cool to see it with you guys. I'd love to show you around. And, yeah. And, like, maybe we can, if we go up there, we could figure out how to get Jay back with his folks. That would be cool to see.
Yeah. You know something? My mom always talked about wanting to see Nimbus.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's why it was the first place I thought of when I thought about finding a place to take her and to hide her, because, you know, she'd tell me stories about it when I was a little kid, and but there's no pressure. You know, we go there if we go there when you're ready to. There's a whole wide world to hide her in, so
Yeah.
there's lots of beautiful places.
Well, let's get your mom, Rudy. Let's do that first, and we'll see where we can take her.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time you see her? Like, how many years has it been?
It's been a really long time. I've lost count. Of the years.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. You know what? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it, man. We'll get her back.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to see her face again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you're really fast. You know that, right?
Yes. So are you. Beat my ass.
I thought I was gonna throw up there, man.
I thought about circling back and jogging along beside you, but then you overcame me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And
yeah, I just wanted to win that bad.
you know something.
Yeah,
I have not been getting faster in my life. It's like, I don't know what it is. Well, I guess I just am always training to some extent. Well, I was always training like all the time at the, you know, throughout my life. And then I suppose all this stuff we've been doing together is kind of just like training too. So, I don't know, in a little bit of time, I might be faster than you.
Yeah. Gonna figure out how to. I'm gonna have to kneecap you or something, bud. Like, I don't know if I can let that one go.
You're gonna have to decap me?
I'm gonna have to kneecap you.
Oh.
No legs for you.
Yeah. Well, I think you need my legs, so.
Yeah, you know what? Good point. Great point, Rudy. I don't know what we'd do without him.
I don't know what we'd do without any of us.
Yeah.
How far away is Rex, Kel?
At this point, like, everyone's pretty well approaching you guys.
Hey, Slowpokes! I'm just kidding. No offense.
No,
I approach, and as we're getting closer, I say, "Did you find the stone for the secret entrance?"
Oh my god, we didn't even look!
You know, yep, we found it. It's there. I'm gonna point at the wall where I think the stone is.
Okay. I'll move over to that spot and like press on the stone with my claw.
Okay, sort of like going over to the general spot and giving it a bit of a glance over, you press your claw into one of the sort of larger stones, sort of pushing on it and seeing if it presses. Doesn't push into the wall.
What do I see around the wall?
So around the wall has pretty well been broken into about like I'd say like a 6 foot wide by about 10 foot tall square from the support legs of the tram station itself, of the tram lines. So there's sort of this box of metal that has sort of made a bit of a section of the wall that makes it a little bit easier. You're not sort of just going across this completely open wall. There's the wall that's been contained by these support legs. So you've got a pretty expansive section of wall that doesn't look like it has too many stones that really fit out of place. Like, it looks like a couple have fallen out over the years, but looks like a chunk of wall.
And that did nothing. Then I go,
Nothing.
You know, Abby, you should leave the lying to me, because I don't think you're telling the truth. And then I'm going to like kind of snicker and then look around for the mark, whatever that mark is, because he didn't tell us. He just said there's a mark.
He didn't tell you. He just said that it's marked with a symbol.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna peer around and say, somebody help me look for this thing. Think like a halfling. And then I look to Jade.
I take a look around as well, but my eyes hurt, my head hurts, I'm tapped out.
I'm gonna help.
I kind of walk around and...
Are you going to search as well there, Isla? Okay. All three of you, give me investigation checks.
Sweet.
2.
7.
9,
2, 7, and 9?
19.
19, okay. So, Jade, as you're glancing around, it's been a long day. It's been a hard day. After the first, 5 or 6 stones, you then sort of question if you really looked at them well enough and go back, and then after a little while just get frustrated with the whole situation.
Fuck this!
Isla, looking over the stones, you start to find a bunch that have these small little gouges in them and start sort of haphazardly pressing into some of these random stones, but nothing seems to happen. Rex, while you're sort of watching this and searching your own area, you recall what Ezen said about the stone being at about halfling height. So you sort of gauge that and start sort of looking at about 4.5 feet up on the wall. And coming across to near the far right side, you find a weirdly precise stone. The rest of the stones seem to be these random side stones that have been placed into the wall. This one almost looks hexagonal. And at the center of it is a small symbol of an X, and in each of the sort of open spots of the X, there is a small dot in each of the 4 holes of the
I
X.
recognize that.
Give me a history check.
Okay, and I will say, everybody, look at this. It's a 3 to a 4.
You don't recognize where it's from or who it's for, but you do recognize the symbol. You have seen the symbol before.
Okay. I go, does anybody remember this? I feel like we've encountered it before.
I'll look at it, see if I know it.
Give me a history check.
Same here.
History check.
I'll do it.
History check.
Me too.
History check. 3. Jade, you don't. Again, the symbol seems familiar, but you don't recognize it. Ludi, familiar, but don't recognize it. So, all of you, familiar. Actually, except for Abby and Isla, it's not familiar at all. It's a completely new symbol for the two of you.
Pull out one of the Oh, never mind. As I think about it, I go to pull out one of the Kingfisher tokens, and then I look at the stone, and I'm like, not a Kingfisher. Guys,
What's up?
I just racked my brains. I can't remember the code. Does anybody remember the code?
Yeah, I have it. I wrote it down.
Outside of the game, I swear to God, I wrote that code down somewhere, and I cannot find it for the life of me.
I remember when you guys were all writing it down, and I was playing. This was when we got the code, and I looked at the screen, and I saw all of you like this. I just went, what's the point?
Well, the point is, I've lost it.
I have it. I have
4 people.
Ludi, I wrote it down. Ludi?
Well, I just... But you do it, I lost it, let's say.
It's okay. I think that the lock is at the other end anyway, right? This one we just hit.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the butt end of my cane and just press on that stone.
Okay. Having pressed into the other stone before that you thought Abby was motioning to, this one, expecting to feel it not push in, you feel it resist a bit, and then it sort of sinks into the wall until it's about flush. And as it sort of grinds back out to its original position, you see sort of this almost like small puff of dust from what looks to be the circumference of the door itself as it sort of unlatches from the wall and swings outwards
Okay.
on hidden hinges, revealing about pretty small door, about halfling-sized door, so only about 5 feet at its peak, and maybe about 2 feet wide. But it leads into a dark hallway.
I walk past you and go, and I just walk through it easily.
I check her over my shoulder just to see. I just want to see if anyone is looking around, and then I don't really see anyone. I say, Abby, is anyone watching?
Is anyone watching?
Give me a perception check.
19.
As you glance around to check if anyone's watching, sort of peering up towards the tram lines, you hear this sort of deep rumbling, and looking up towards the tram lines, you see one of the trams just begin to sort of crest over the edge of the wall and begin its descent down towards Black Dock. But no one seems to be watching, and from this angle, doesn't look like the tram can see you.
No, not unless that tram has eyes. I think we're good.
I don't think it has eyes.
You know, I've seen some weird shit today. I don't know who built that. Let's head on in.
Okay, so you guys all enter the secret door. Okay, so coming into the secret door, as you all pass through and begin your way through this hallway, Ludi, you can see sort of generally from the light that's being cast in from the open door, but as you guys get about 40 feet down this hallway, suddenly all the light disappears as the door you've just come in sort of re-latches itself.
As I get covered in darkness and can't see anything anymore, I just squeeze Rex's hand a little bit tighter, and I nudge in a little bit closer to him.
Okay. After about like another 30, 40 feet of travel down this pretty cramped hallway, those of you with dark vision, so everyone but Ludi, can see this metal door in front of you, this pretty solid looking metal door, and on the sort of central right portion of it looks to be a combination lock.
Oh, right, that's me. And then I'll look at my hand where I have the combination written,
Oh my god.
and then I'll put it in. And the combination is 22, 31, 7.
Okay. After spinning the combination and sort of waiting for a second as nothing happens, you hear the sound of heavy tumblers dropping. And suddenly the door sort of swings slightly open as you grab onto the edge of it and pull it open. And pulling this door open, you realize as you open it that the iron door itself is probably about like 6 or 7 inches thick of just solid iron as it opens, and you see these large metal bars that are used to sort of latch it into the wall.
I hold it open for everyone to walk through.
Okay.
Thank
Everyone.
you. Thanks.
And then I close it behind us.
Okay. Closing it behind you, you again hear the sound of these tumblers dropping and something sliding into place in the door itself. Once again, you guys find yourself in almost total darkness. However, there is slightly more light in this room that you've come into, and instead of it being this sort of dirt ground that you were walking across before, it's now seems to be more like cobblestones in this room that is slightly lit. Seems there's light coming from somewhere just beyond where you are, and the air is pretty musty. It's a pretty musty place.
I'll carry on, but I'm gonna draw that stun gun and keep it out.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, does that little element at the back of it provide any light for Ludi?
Provides very minimal. Provides enough that you can like slightly illuminate your face or Ludi's face, but not enough to really be able to see too well.
Okay, is it visible in the dark by Ludi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys continue your way down through this network, this service station that it seems you've entered, and coming to a corner, you find the spot where the light has been coming in, and you see a ladder that is being illuminated by a bit of speckled dim light coming down from wherever this ladder leads to.
Rex,
Yes.
are you we're gonna use that gun? Okay, I was gonna ask if I can have it, but if you're gonna use it, that's okay.
I'm going to eat it.
I give you a kiss on the cheek. I mean, no. And I'm going to climb up the ladder. Is there a manhole at the top?
There is a manhole at the top.
Okay. Does it have the little holes in it?
It does. It has 4 little holes.
And is it dark on the street above?
Boy holes.
There's like the dim light that's pouring down from the sort of like late evening light, so you can see that there's light pouring in from the manhole, but still it's just these small little circles that
Okay.
you can see through.
Just lift it like just as slowly and as little as I possibly can to get a crack to see if I can see any feet walking by, because I'm assuming that it's in the middle of a street.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Am I able to lift it? It's
Yeah, it's heavy, but you are able to sort of with your body push this thing up.
Oh, it's cocked. Ooh. Five.
Okay, so pushing this thing up, just giving yourself enough so you can just barely see into wherever this manhole is leading you to. You glance around and you see things that seem unfamiliar. It looks like a weirdly sort of like angular street, and you can see the cobblestones. Looks like little bits of refuse and broken glass seem to be littering whatever this place is. It's pretty dimly lit. Doesn't seem to be a major street, and as you glance around, you see a series of 4 little feet sort of skitter by your eyesight and then sort of stop near in front of your eyes, and you see a little nose sort of peek in underneath the lip of this manhole, sort of sniffing under, trying to figure out what this thing is, and then it skitters off.
Was it like a dog?
Looked like it was more like a rat.
Oh, great. I'm gonna lower it, climb back down, and say, I can't really see much. I don't know if it's safe to go out there yet.
Is it dark?
It's like pretty dim. It's like dusk.
Oh, why don't we just hang out here until it's like dark, and then we can go.
Sounds good.
You guys want to play a game?
I spy with my little eye something that is... I don't really see anything.
I think I have a deck of cards. Wait, you can't see anything? Never
No.
mind. We don't need to play.
Unlike all of you, I cannot see in the dark.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
My greatest shortcoming. Just, I have a lot of bigger shortcomings.
I'm gonna take out the etheric scanner, and I'm just gonna like sit cross-legged, trying my best to not inhale the musk. Definitely not any particle. I'm just gonna like hold it in my lap and kind of point it in the direction of Jade. And I'm not trying to hide it or anything. I'm just gonna scan him.
Okay. You see the scanner begin its about 15-second pass, and then the quick upwards pass, and you see confirmed appear across it.
And I just mutter to myself, without a doubt. And then I turn it around and I do it on myself too.
Okay. Once again, you see the white line pass, the second one rise, and again, confirmed appears across the device.
Oh, do it on me, Rex. Maybe I have hidden talents.
Well, you have many. and then I scan you.
Okay. Scanning Ludi, you see the white line pass. Second one rises. You see written across, denied.
You've been denied. It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
You know, if you really want, you know, I know you're against it, but Wake is how I got mine. If you do it, maybe you could get powers too.
You think it would work for me?
It worked for me. I was nothing but a lowly, unemployed, used to be line cook at the restaurant, turned beggar. And then I was bestowed with talents.
So. But wasn't it like it was when you were making Wake, not when you just took some, right?
Well, that's true. I guess it might have been because of the phase, not the phase elements. The Aetherus was unstable, or I didn't really know what I was doing. I don't know what. Maybe Billy just wanted to intervene and saw something in me.
I don't think he'd see anything in me.
Well, I find that hard to believe, and I bet you our friends here could agree.
No, I don't mean it in a self-deprecating way. I just think that I'm on my own path with my martial arts.
Your growth has been impressive, Ludi. While you don't have magic and you've been denied, I bet you could crush this with your 2 fingers, just by finding the weak points. No!
No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
Jeez!
Oh, I forgot. Rex, look at this. Actually, everyone. And I pull out the disc, the brass disc with a miniature dome in the center with it's a slightly multicolor brass. Anyone know what this is?
Kale, do I recognize it or anything like it?
Give me a intelligence check.
Me too.
Intelligence check.
I want to try.
That's what you think.
Intelligence. Get that int going.
Here we go.
My int is negative. That's
3.
12.
12.
17.
17.
My bad.
Rex, what is that? 31? 13.
4,000.
Ludi, what did you get there?
Oh, I'm not trying. I'm pretty sure I don't know what it is.
Okay. As you all try and figure out what this thing is, sort of handling it and trying to work out what its purpose is, the more you look at it, it is this brassy disc with this darker brass dome. And looking at it, it seems to have a lot of small, really intricate clockwork parts and almost like little bits of glass sort of built within it. And as you mess around with it, you find that the bottom portion, like the disc itself, can spin. And giving it a slight spin, you see the dark brass dome in the center light up, and shedding about 10 feet of dim light around it.
Oh my gosh, I can see in the dark.
Hey, Rex.
What?
Can you point your scanner at this thing?
Yes.
Pointing the scanner at this, you see it like takes a moment to sort of lock on to this object instead of locking on to Isla, but after a moment you see the scan go by and come up, and you see across the screen, confirmed.
This thing is good. It has Aetherus in it.
Cool.
Hey, are we sure that it's all it's got going on is the light? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
maybe it's
Like,
like
I hope that isn't like a beacon. It's like Prime Tech, like, hey, we're here.
well.
Hey, we're here.
Remember, we're pretty sure I'm a beacon. Anyway, so what's one more?
Oh, a
You
good.
look great.
I don't want to throw this thing out. I feel like it's. I don't know. I think it's important.
It might like
You know-
be. It might like be our way into Pramtech one day, if we wanted to.
You know, Isla, that thing you just said about you being a beacon, that makes me think. Do we want to try to figure that out before we go on our, I was going to say little, but our big mission?
Yeah.
I think.
You think I might attract the wrong kind of attention to our job with Ludi's?
Well, here's my thinking. You know, it did take them like. I don't know. How long ago did you find. Did Silence find you, and did you leave the store? Like 2 weeks ago?
Do you guys remember the day we all met for the first time?
Yeah.
The day before that.
So it took them like 7 or 8 days to find you, and for a good half of those days, we were in New Eden. So
That said, we did just murder 2 of their workers and 3 of their bots.
But
They're going to know about that.
I also left them 2 very threatening messages.
yeah,
One straight down into their cameras, but I was invisible, so hopefully they could just hear me. And then the other one, I put the note on the auto port, remember?
yeah.
Maybe they're scared.
I think it'd be good to do it before, though. Do we have the time, Ludi?
Oh, either way, I still think we should do it before. I didn't think so. It'll take them a few days to scout out the place where they're keeping my mom, and
Okay.
and even still, it would be dangerous to go there if they're tracking Isla.
Right. Okay.
I think that's our number 1 priority. But Jade, you know people that can you know help remove the tracker.
Maybe. My mom, well, rather, my father was an engineer. He's passed away now. But my mom might know some of his friends and people who work in the underbelly of this whole thing.
So we need to leave New Eden.
No, she's here.
Oh,
And I'm assuming if she knows any engineers, they're here too.
I thought she lived on the coast. By
That's-
him.
That's my grandparents. My mother works with Fontaine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
wait,
got
no.
confused.
No, hold on. What? I thought you weren't. I thought you were in bad graces. Is that why you go invisible every time we're there? You don't want to see your mom?
I don't want to see any of them. There's no bad blood. They just have high expectations for someone who is the son of one of their highest and best working aberrants.
Wow.
And I don't want to be associated with that. I want to do my own work and work for my own cause. So I'm not just going to be my mother's son. But I'm sure she'd be willing to help. Maybe for a price. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Well, make our way over to the apiary tonight.
I was thinking maybe we could sleep on it. It's
I don't
late.
want to... Look, this is going to be the first time I see them in a while, and I would rather not look like this.
Yeah, a lot of you look pretty bad, actually. No, I don't mean that like in a mean way. I just mean you look pretty hurt.
It's true. We
You
just
look
look bad right now.
Not bad, not bad. Like bloody and tired.
Very good point, Isla. I think that we should first go let Britt know of the information, get a little bit of this, and then my place is always open, or we could go somewhere else to stay.
Do we think it's safe to stay at our place anymore, Rex?
We could set up the booby traps that we did the first time we moved in.
Yeah, we could.
Mhm.
I mean, if you guys don't mind a very cramped space, we could always... I live in an attic. We'd have to be very quiet. Maybe it's not the best idea.
We're not the quietest bunch.
And it's quite tight.
But
I also
It's
want
like-
to cook drugs tonight. I don't think they'll let me do it. Well, can I do it in the attic?
It's very tight, and the person who lives under me doesn't know I'm living above them. So,
oh my god.
So you're a squatter.
Maybe stop by the Black Emporium tonight on our way back to Rex's place. I'm gonna climb the ladder and see if it's dark out yet.
Okay.
Okay. Climbing up and peering out, it's gotten a bit darker, but it's only about like half an hour has passed.
Oh, come on! What are we waiting for? Let's just go.
What if people see us climb out, though?
Okay, I'm going to disguise myself as a sewer person, and then it won't be suspicious.
What does a sewer person look like there, Rex?
Huh?
What does a sewer person look like?
You're cutting out. I'm gonna be a sewer person, Kale.
What does a sewer person look like?
Fuck.
You're cutting out, Kale. He's just, if you can hear me, he looks like a sewer person. He's climbed out and everything's fine.
I'm gonna look like Conor McGregor, the MMA fighter.
Maybe put in some overalls, Rex, or like some coveralls, like some,
Conor McGregor in dungarees.
Yeah. I'll wear coveralls and like a popper hat, like a Baker Boys hat.
Oh, maybe you should have some soap.
No, I won't do that. If Ludi is recommending that to me, I ignore him as I'm climbing, as the disguise is coming on, and looking like Conor McGregor.
Props.
What did you say?
You need to have your props.
I don't want to do any more illusions. I want to get out of this stinky place. And then I'm going to push it up so that my head is revealed. I'm going to slide it so that like it's halfway off, but not all the way off.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to do a full 360 look where I am.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Hey, 15.
Okay. Glancing around, it looks like you are in like the intersection of a back alley. So like where a back alley would like turn to go on to the main street. You can see to your right, there's the exit onto the main street that's probably about like 20 feet away from you. Pretty far away. The alley itself is quite cramped, and looking down, since you're sort of at this intersection, looking down the alley itself, you see someone sitting there, leaned up against the wall, look to be sort of like sorting through a small burlap bag of items, and they look up to you, and you see their hair is just in all which ways, totally matted, as they look up at you, a small, like, half-rotten apple in hand, and, hey, looking good, handsome. And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to Dungeons and Drama Majors. Really appreciate the support from you guys, the awesome community. If you guys haven't already and still need to punch that subscribe button or head over to YouTube, give a like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Any amount of support really helps us sort of slowly climb this this wonderful ladder that we're sort of making our way up. With that, do we have quotes for the night?
No, goodbye. Just kidding. The first quote is, after intermission, it is Jade's hair looks like a pride flag from Janto. That was funny and true. The next one was the guy at the garage where he was inspecting it. He was just like, I just thought that was funny. This is really funny. 100 is the final offer. 105. 100 is the final offer.
That's my first quote in forever.
Sorry, I was just talking to someone. 100 is the final offer, and then there's a beat, sold. And then the next one is, what does a sewer person look like, though? And then Jackson went, fuck.
What does a sewer person look like?
I have two of Sheldon. One, when Jackson was using his acid breath on the thing, Sheldon said, make it flaccid, use your acid. That's funny. And then when Ludi was asking about the manhole, he said, "Does it have manholes?" And Sheldon, under his breath, went, "No, it has boy holes."
But no. It was the thing because he was like, there was the little holes. Does it have the little holes, right?
Oh,
Boy holes, and they're called boy holes.
Oh my god. With that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If there are no other announcements or closing remarks, all right, we'll see you guys next week, same time, 7:30 Mountain Time, for more Dungeons and Drama Majors craziness. We'll see what these guys do in New Eden now that they're back in the city after about a week-long hiatus out messing around in Black Dog. So,
Alan.
oh god, Alan. With that, enjoy the rest of your night there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into Dungeons and Drama Majors, and we'll see you again next week.
See you Sunday.
Bye. See you Sunday.